Yes, sir.
Loud and clear, sir.
All right, guys. Thanks once again for coming in for our town hall. So, few things again. Like it's every week's been like I don't know where to even start stuff. I write about something and it just keeps adding up to kind of bring it up on the town hall. So, I think I can. I don't know if we. I don't know what happened last. I mean, I'm not sure what happened beginning of the week, but I think if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this week started off with I think one of our launchpad projects actually. I think minting out. So I think we had a little bit of chat about it, last time, and it's pretty good to see or like showcase like that even in this market, that like some really good projects are not being punished, right? Like I think still they are being like accepted by the the crowd, and also like you guys who had supported, and also like team from Kongs and Lama was they were sweeping. So anyways, the point is that I think our Genesis holder Skanky, big shout out to him for kind of like throwing out a good project. After reveal, really rare to see some projects still stick on above the floor price. Look, I think it's at like 0.06 or something the last I checked. So we minted at like 0.039, fully revealed, 600 ETH of volume traded. Amazing work by Ruben here. And as I said, like, this is a testament to our team's effort, what we put in the back, how we connect different projects to the relevant teams, because Kongs is one of the hardest teams to work with. I think any of you who probably are a founder by any chance who's here or been a collab manager, you could pretty much kind of would probably accept that Kongs is one of the hardest teams to work with. And you know that I made a tweet long time back, like Jira versus Kongs as a game is pretty much like 10% of our. That's when I would say like our 10% of our roadmap 1.0 is like kind of satisfied kind of thing. I was pretty. It was a pretty good moment in the sense where I was on the spaces with Kong's team. I was chatting with Coco Bear even yesterday about other stuff, few other things. It opened up definitely. It opened up a big door, and they started noticing us in a different way in the sense like that Gojira brings up quality projects, and they really like the roadmap of GMC, because Coco Bear also like kind of gave a tweet about it. So a really cool thing that happened in this market, and it testifies my statement what I like to make. We are not in a bear market. We have just shifted to a smart market. All right. So bear market is when there's no volume and stuff. There is no volume right now for shit stuff. But I still think that like good ones are being recognized, and they minted out. So our launchpad, PG launchpad, to be very open. They're sending the funds today. So if for anybody who wants to track the wallets, we are as transparent as always. We are not putting it into the wallet. We're just keeping it in a cold wallet just because of accessibility thing. So this is the wallet that's there. You can check all the transactions. Nothing fishy. That's where the money would come in. So we get about, if I'm not mistaken, 45 ETH, 45 ETH from the mint. And also, it's good to know that we have 25% of the royalties forever, right? So 25% of the royalties of GMC is ours. This is kind of like almost having a stake in the project or equity, I would say. So they're 600 ETH, roughly. They had 60 ETH of royalties from that. So we also have 15 ETH extra from those royalties. So this allows us to work in tandem with them, and it's not just a one-time pump and dump kind of thing where we would work with them because their benefit, they do better, the game does better, Jira Vault and Jira, this thing does better. So it's an innovative thing. And shout out to Ruben actually to come up with that method, because we never used to include royalties as part of our contracts, but we started doing that nowadays. So the better the game does, which we will help them without. Just think about this, right? Just think about this for a second. Gojira hasn't spent a dollar to build a game. Gojira holders got whitelisted for an amazing project. You could have sold at 2x, 3x, or held it for holding, whatever. We didn't build a game. We are part of a game, and we have equity in the game. and we made money from the sales of the game as well without us building a game and wasting our funds. So just for you guys to think about it a little bit, the direction that we are taking, and I'll openly challenge a project that's doing this. Openly challenge a project that's taking up equities, building products, giving back to the community without us taking a single dollar profit. Only Ruben is going to get paid a small amount. I'm being transparent here as well. He's going to get paid like 3,000 USD. I'm like to be as transparent as as I love to be. You guys know that. So Ruben gets $33,000 as a bonus for helping with the launchpad advisory for GMC. But other than that, the team is not taking a single dollar. Right? Name me again a project who would do this. Right? We are not here for money. And those of you who are right here with us in the town hall, you understand that, and I appreciate it a lot. It's not easy when you see a lot of money come in to be like, guys, can we just take a ETH or two ETH? What's the problem? The community is not going to say shit. No one's going to say if you're going to be like, yeah, guys, we're going to take like 5 ETH or 10 ETH for us. But that's not who we are. We are on a salaried basis, and we are happy to work on that salaried basis. So either way, so we have our equity in GMC, as I mentioned. So it's a forever thing. So it's in our best of our interest to help them, to keep helping them, to come up with ideas, to have once a week or twice a week meeting with them, to come up with ideas, discuss solutions. It'll be beneficial for them as well. It's not like one of those projects where it's done and then it's forever gone kind of thing. So just thought I'll let you guys know about this, something really exciting for us. So that's from the GMC side. Second important thing that I wanted to discuss with you guys was we have been like, you guys know that we have these funds and stuff and all those things, but we have been thinking deeply about like the subscription model. Don't be scared. It's not something that's going to come out for we're going to ask you to pay anything at this stage or something like that. But like we have been like kind of reassessing our alpha callers, collab managers. If you think about it, just for you guys to logically think about it as well, we launched with zero point zero 0.05 ETH and zero point 0.1 ETH, and we have been building all this. But there's so much of overheads in our that's added up to us. All right. So adding a lot of alpha callers and collab managers, which as a project we do not make any money back. I think you guys can agree on it. Like as much as that's one of the things that's been coming in. So I'm just letting you guys know that we are also looking at reassessing our like the alpha thing, what we are paying them, or the collab team and stuff like that, to just ensure that we can last even longer, right? So in the sense to kind of ensure that like we don't just burn out on on we are kind of like started working on like a block system where every block or every team, we are going to see how much they're getting paid and what value they're bringing on a monthly basis. For example, Launchpad team, X dollars paid, Y dollars received. But something like an alpha or something like a collab, we are paying X dollars, but we are getting $0 to the project as such. Because a lot of projects like say Moonbirds or like even Kaiju Kings for that sense, they have their like the community kind of participates in a lot of these things, and it's not like a paid gig. So just letting you guys know, don't be shocked if we kind of make an announcement of a little bit of a change. It's for the benefit of the project, nothing for us. It's purely money is going from the vault for all these services that we are talking about. We are reassessing whether it's worthy. We are reassessing whether it's helping you guys in a sense where we are for the x amount of dollars we are paying per month. And we would be announcing about it this next week or so. There's going to be like intensive work on those things. So just to let you guys know and keep you updated, we might be making some changes to the structure and to the alpha collars and stuff like that. So yeah, did I sorry I missed the part. Alpha will change, right? It's not about change, it's more about we will have to restructure the way it's being done. If say it's costing us $20,000 a month for like mods plus alpha callers plus say collab managers, for instance, $20,000 is not bringing any revenue to the project, it's bringing value to holders. But we have to reassess or rework a way where it's not biting on the monthly expenses of the project in this market, right? Because we are not like, if say if collab managers are bringing in 1,000 whitelist spots and we are taking 100 for the vault and we are flipping all of them and putting the 100 flips to our vault, we'll be making millions. Like, if you take 10% of the allocations to the vault, we'll be making millions. At least we would have made especially in the bull run. So it's something different. So we are just reworking, reassessing, nothing too serious. I don't want us to think about this a year and a half from now when, say, the market is still bad. We like to think early. We like to keep building our revenue streams so that we could build a better model, like a rewarding system or reward model for our holders. So just kind of informing about it, there could be some changes. Don't be surprised. As I said, it's not anything that would affect you guys, but we are definitely looking at changes, and also we are looking at some kind of a subscription model as well. Not for any of this current services you have the future. A few of the things that we might be dropping, we might be keeping it as a subscription service, very very minimal fee. When you think about it, 3,000 people here paying $10 a month, that's $30,000, for instance. That $30,000 can pay us more than, a lot of our staff pays, right? And we can preserve the model for the longest of times. $10 per person, 3,000 people. But I know not everybody still would be happy with the $10. But I'm just saying, for instance, right, a $10 model, 3,000 people gets you $30,000, which will be enough to pay mods, collab managers, alpha groups without us burning from the vault, right? So we are kind of doing some market research. I did a poll the other day as well. I think 80% of them were kind of for it. But we have to make sure that the babies in the space, they understand that this is not a cash grab. This is purely a sustainable model, right? So it's more about like a $10 a month. I'm again putting this number, right? $10 to $20 a month, 3,000 holders, and pay the entire staff's pay, almost the entire staff's pay for a month. I think about it. it Per person when it comes out, right? You're winning whitelist spots. For example, you make some money. You're contributing whatever you can. It might be helping the project, right? But as a holder, but for the project, we are not getting anything back. So in especially in a bear market. So this just I'm just kind of putting this thing out here because I just want to hear your thoughts after this AMA. You guys can get on stage, tell about what you guys think about it. I'm open to any kind of. I would prefer actually guys who are against this kind of a model to come up and share their views. As always, we never would like to implement any of these things without most of our community, this thing without our let's say most of our community thinking about it. So Richard, I think that's a good point. If you can use Jira to pay, it would be a great sync. But the problem is the Jira we got to go and dump again. All right. Jira we have to go and dump again to pay these staff in Uniswap. So again, I don't know how good that could be, but we have a different kind of a model for that. Let's say we collect 100 Jiras, we can burn 10% of it and 90% can be dumped in a way where there's always anyways, we'll work out few models. Don't worry about it. Nothing too fancy or anything, but just thought I'll put it out here as a for the sustainability side of things, because this is going to come up a lot. Trust me, there's so many projects that are going to be they're either going to shut down because they can't operate and all those kind of things. We are thinking far ahead while we have the funds, right? We are thinking way in front of before any of those kind of things or any of those things even may happen in a year or two or three, just to keep some options in hand. So anyways, so I put it up here. So next one is what's the other one that I wanted? Somebody's put here. Subs for us. Why did we even buy a Jira for 2 ETH? Then I'm not saying subs for any of the services that are now. Subs for any of the things that we may be coming up with later, because all these things cost, and then if they have to be, they got to be run by stuff out there. So it's not about just this current things what we are doing, but I'm just talking more about the future, if you're going to add some extra stuff outside of what we are planning, like say we want to add like 10 bots for instance, and most of them want it in, maybe. But as I said, it's way in the, like it's purely, it's a very, let's say at this stage it's more like a research stage. It's more about like just kind of finding out or feeling what the community or the public in general, they think about some kind of a model like that. So that's it. So it can probably be even Jira tokens, for example, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. It can be an opt-in option, then can be included for Gen ones. Yeah, sure. That's the kind of thing. Again, I think so. For Jasco, any examples of that services? For example, like we are not even thinking about an buying an automation tool, for example, right? Like say we are going to put our tool in, but there's going to be another, let's say, a reminder tool that someone has already built, and then it's costing us $100,000 to buy it from them and rebrand as Gojira. That's not planned for our planned in our budget or something. This 100K, this tool can be brought and then given as a free service to the holders. At least it can be at least a one-time payment as well as from the holders, maybe, to add this extra tool, and then it can go to public, and whatever the public pays for it after a month or two, it can come back to the vault. So it's just purely a discussion at this stage, as I said. So it can, there's multiple other options that we are looking at. So yeah, it needs an edge. Obviously, it's not like not for the alpha that's coming out now, or not for the things that are happening now. It's like, obviously it doesn't make sense. I'm talking purely about, understand here, like it's purely about something that's outside of our plan. So if there's something that we haven't even planned, and then if there's something that we want to add, we might put a vote, and if C majority are interested, we might get it. If majority are like nope, then we might not be able to fund it. It's okay, so just I'll leave it at here. It's just a discussion point for us later down the line. So that's it pretty much. Is the alpha considered as one of the services? Nope, not what we are doing now. Absolutely not. So as I said, it's purely, yeah, what's present now would not be cut out. Absolutely, like, come on guys, there's a minimum, like, what it's pretty much, we are like just like a 3,000 supply. We're not like a 10,000 supply for us to worry about, like, a lot of these things. I'm talking purely about extra stuff that we can add to the ecosystem. All right, like as I said, like a simply put, like for example, there's a tool A, but if we feel, majority feels that tool B also makes a lot more sense, but the tool B is out of reach because it's like $50 a month, for instance. But if there's a $5 or a $10 fee for Gen 2 holders, but then $30 for the public, is an extra bit. So that's the kind of method that we are thinking at. So it's not like about cutting off what we are doing now. It's purely about adding more few features or services in the future. So a lot of, let's lots don't listen may cause BS FUD. I mean, I'm here. If you guys can't get on the stage and clarify this, I don't know what what would be the better way. So I'm here to clarify again, just putting it for those who don't understand before you get shocked or panicked. It's just a thought process at this stage. For adding more value or adding more features, which is not planned in our ecosystem. All right. So yeah. I'm part of an alpha group. They have a sub model where 300 people pay 100 each, something like this. But for the public, like public can pay $50 to get access. And that's better than charging all this. 300 people pay 100 each, but then for public they can pay 50. So why would anybody pay more than 50 then? All right. Anyways, so I'm not. I'll talk to you about it later. All right. So like say for example, Champ's pass. I think what Champ was offering us was a Champ's only pass that you can pay at, like, with Jira tokens, for instance, and he's happy to take the Jira tokens. And he would obviously go and dump the Jira tokens, for instance, right? So he's happy to take some X number of Jira tokens per week or a month to get access to his alpha server without having to pay like whatever 1 ETH or 2 ETH to buy his passes. It's pretty much like, there's multiple options that we are thinking about, which is why we are discussing with you guys. Like, if you have seen some really good models, like what Suhan had posted, I'll talk to you about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, pretty much I think that's one thing, and then I think another one that's going on is obviously the WGMI poll. I think I'm not sure like at this stage anymore whether it's anything close to even being authentic. It's super fucking like botted. And but I think somebody from Gojira has also botted, right? So yeah, I mean, if you can, for those of you who don't know what's happening, it's kind of like the finals, and the project that wins or something, that wins the finals, apparently gets featured in OpenSea. So OpenSea had commented, and like that OpenSea would be featuring the project in their front page or something. It's crazy the community side of things, right? The Jira community side of things. It's crazy how we are proceeding. We are winning. We are not botting when it's a natural oath like the previous semifinals. I think there's only like 2,500 oaths and again Sappy Seals, and we still won, or 2,900 oaths or something. And when people like these fuckers, they M first or whatever, they bot, and then someone is actually botting and kind of putting us in the lead. So I think it's a crazy community. We probably people think like Gojira is not as strong, hasn't got a strong presence or not a strong community like the Seals or something. But we defeated Seals, which was not botted at all. It's kind of like crazy to be honest. So I'm super proud of our team. No matter what happens from here, I think Tata has been conducting this in a really good way, like kind of raiding and stuff in a very natural way. It's filled with our comments, and a lot of them are rooting for us. So it's a pretty cool thing to see. The last one I want to share before we move on to the demo of something is that we started this kind of like I went on like a meetup on Thursday. It was more like a Web3 speech or a Web3 this thing. So the speech was basically about like some Web3 stuff where people from Crypto.com and some NFT founders and stuff, they came in and it was just a chat. We realized that Australia has got like one of the a year back nobody was there in Australia as such, like to come to all these kind of events. So I met few people and I realized that Australia has got a really strong market here and super. A lot of them are super, let's say, like a fanatic kind of thing to any kind of an Aussie kind of stuff. So we kind of like we wanted to just bring or tap into it, and I was in chat. I was in talks with a few influencers from Australia and stuff, and we had a Twitter Spaces today. So for those of you who do not know, so the Twitter Spaces was basically uh, sorry, did I? All right. So Twitter Spaces was basically about like just the Aussie community and all those kind of things. So I was a co-host along with another person, and it's to be really honest, we didn't expect like some kind of a crazy turnout. There was like 3,000 people in the spaces, right? Like as in like at any given time there was 750 people, and the total tuned in after 6 hours so far has been like 3,200 or something that are tuned in. So a huge reach, so many DMs from different people, from the director of Sandbox, from Ryan Carson, from from what is the other guy's name? Director of APAC's blockchain, so Asia Pacific blockchain tech director. So they love that we were doing this and we are pushing this forward, and they all have come forward to kind of mention that they're happy to support, fund, or any of those ideas that we have got to push this kind of like a movement forward. So I think it's in terms of marketing side of things, we are 100% getting there. We are putting our best. We are trying all forms of, IRL meetups, Twitter Spaces, getting a lot of people to know about our existence first thing, because we're kind of known in Asia to an extent in US, but we are not that known in the Europe, or even like in the US market. There's a massive market to capture. We are pretty strong to an extent in Asia. So I think Australian market and US market can definitely add a huge push to our this thing. There's about like two or three people that bought a Gen 2 while on Spaces. They DM me and stuff as well about it after buying. So it's a pretty cool thing, and I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep. If you listen to the entire Spaces, I never shilled about Gajira, but here and there I mentioned few things about us. But in general, was just talking about Web3 in general, and a lot of them felt it was kind of like nice and genuine. A lot of contacts, and I think Postman Pat is here. Like this guy has been phenomenal in kind of like making this happen, and he's promised that he's buying a Gen 2 like right now, I would say. So he's kind of you're gonna buy it now, isn't it, Pat? Like I mean, that's what you told after the spaces. Yep. So you're getting a Gen 2 now, and he's looking at probably a Genesis. So this guy was pretty much the reason why I was connected to a lot of people in Melbourne. Like met him like few times. It's really nice to kind of like build this kind of IRL network of not just Web3 enthusiasts, but also people from Web2, people who are in high positions. I was connected with Crypto.com's, Asia Pacific's head. So it's like it's really nice to kind of like get to all these kind of events or fruitful events. It's not those clubbing events, but actual speech or networking events where people are interested, to let's say like to work for the betterment of the space and for the betterment of Web3 in general. So that space was amazing. It was kind of like a little bit nervous because I don't think I've ever had 750 people at once in a Twitter space. It's max been like 400 or 450, 750 at any given time, and 3,000 people tuning in, and like there's like a movement going on, like Aussie follow Aussie kind of thing. And I'm happy to be one of those 2 to 3 key people that kind of started that, and to be a part of that. So just to start, we would be looking to kind of like move into other countries and other like penetrate into other markets as well. As I said, anything, right? My aim or my idea or whatever is not to kind of like go and shill our project, but rather know that a project like ours exists, right? A project like ours, the way we function, the way we think, the way we connect, the way we build our equity or income stream. I just need people to know about it, and it's after that it's on them whether like what they want to do with whether they want to jump on board with us, or whether they want to invest or at least just be partners or whatever. It doesn't matter, right? But I don't want to go and be like, oh, we are going to be the best project tomorrow. I know what we are, and I know where we are going to be, but I don't want to just do some mindless shills on these kind of spaces, which is what I think has attracted a lot of people as well in today's space, and for them to come and reach out to us after that. So we're going to continue doing the same. And as community, I think you guys are proving without a lot of push from us, you guys are doing your best, to kind of spread the word, to participate in this polls kind of thing, and transferring these kind of things amongst yourself. So I think that's pretty much like I would say like the update from the spaces side of things. So for those of you who missed it, I'm just posting the link here. So later when you have some time, you can jump
Alrighty.
in. Who's this? Who was that? Was that
Uh,
was it Pat? All right. So anyways, so that's something, and yeah, I'm hoping to kind of like push for more of these spaces to get like more people on board. Like yeah, I'm just posting the link here. Those of you missed it. Yep. So that's pretty much what I've got to say before. Um, Jamie, are we ready for the demo, dev team?
Yep, yep.
Simply here.
Yeah, we ready. Can you
All
hear
right.
me?
All right. Perfect. So you're gonna share the screen, Jamie?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, guys, like first things first, I think just to let you guys know, like we have been like we just have never wanted to just launch a product just for the sake. We wanted like an actual like some kind of let's say innovation, or some kind of like basic level of innovation in a product, and a product that's not just for the community, but a product that can be used by the public, where the community in the end like kind of benefits. So it involves a lot of things in the back end. It's not like a smooth process. There's a lot of bugs you like you kind of like encounter. But then one thing we learned as well, like, after all these kind of testings and all those things, is that if you're going to try to keep perfecting a product, it's going to take forever, right? In the sense, this is something that I'm like, I kind of learned from, let's say, a really successful person from real life. So this kind of like, we wanted to we wanted to do like, keep things as perfect as possible, but at the same time it's also important that that we kind of have to, there's a balance between speed, and there's a balance, like, between kind of like quality side of things. So as much as we want to keep all the quality and all those things intact, we also should ensure that there's innovation, the products of use, of relevance, at the same time like bug free to an extent, right? So what we developed here, it's been a product that's in development for about like 7 weeks now, because we moved to our oh shit. Wait, let's just a sec. Yeah, this is a product that's developed by our new dev team. That is, I think you might know, I've told about Infinite Studios, where we have equity. We are part of them kind of thing. So it's not something. The previous dev team was a contract basis, and we couldn't get a lot of things done. We wanted to keep costs low, and we kind of was on a contract basis. So here we got our own dev team. um I mean, in the sense, like, where there are a primary dev team, we have an equity kind of thing with them and some kind of arrangements. So they're doing well, and now this product, it's been in development for 7 weeks. We're calling it JiraXchange, right? So let me just quickly go through on a really quick basis what it does, and what is basically the difference, and why we are pretty excited for this. I'll just pretty much show, just a sec. Yep, right. So first things first, this is, we have been working towards a method where we wanted, a marketplace kind of thing, where just don't treat this just as a marketplace. That's why we want to call it like a JiraXchange. Where the primary problem that we have been facing is that with Polygon, something like Polygon, it's a killer, it's a mood killer, I would say. If anyone's part of Kongs, or if you play any of these play to earns or any of those kind of methods, or even in Polygon, it takes forever for the Polygon to kind of like send your tokens back and forth. It's not a very let's say like a pleasant process. It takes hours, and at the same time, we staying in L1 is kind of like you're just wasting gas forever, like, without any reason. And also, like, there's a lot of innovations, like, let's say, blind bidding, for instance, that a lot of them have been doing. But then with the blockchain, it's very hard to go through something like blind bidding and stuff like that, because it's very much visible, what people bid and stuff, to the public. So it effectively does not work as a blind bid, in that sense, right? So what we have come up with, like, is a JiraXchange, where as Gajira holders, you pretty much can, when you earn your tokens, things are going to change as well. A lot of things are going to change a bit later, how the staking and how the token earn and all of things are going to work. But the current model, the current way things are going to work, is that you earn your Jira tokens on a weekly basis or a monthly basis whenever you're ready. You just have to simply connect your wallet here, right? Once you connect your wallet, you pretty much, it'll ask you for your Discord. Wait, let me actually now, okay, so once you connect your wallet, it'll pretty much ask you to connect to your Discord. So once you connect your Discord, the Discord ID would be captured, and after that, you don't have to do anything. So here there is an option called My Wallet, right? So once you come in, there's a My Wallet option, and here, this is your Jira balance. All right, this is your Jira balance that you earn or you withdraw or whatever, right? So all you gotta do is come here, deposit how much ever you want to deposit. Let's say 50 tokens, for instance. That's what you want to deposit, and you're just going to click confirm, for instance. It gives a disclaimer. So JiraXchange's off-chain token, and it's the only token that can be used to purchase items in the exchange. By converting Jira to JiraX, you're acknowledging that this action is final. So once you confirm it, pay a negligible gas fee, right? This is a one-time thing, right? So it doesn't have to be 50 Jira. Once you accumulate whatever number you want, you come and drop in. It's like a very, very negligible thing, cheaper than buying one whitelist spot or participating in a raffle. So once you put the Jira in, right? So if you see my balance here, it reads as 50,000 for testing. So I've put in like 50 Jira now, right? So that's pretty much what I kind of like, deposited from my original Jira balance. Transaction completed. I've got extra 50 tokens here, right? So once this token is in, anything you participate in from here, right? Anything that you participate in from here from the marketplace. So there's multiple marketplace options. There's PG, X market is public, so anyone can participate. PG is for PG holders. DWC is for DWC holders who will still use Jira tokens. They won't be earning. I'll come back to that later. So when you get into PG, there's three listings: Gen 1, Gen 2, Jira Walks, completely separated. So Jira Voxel holders, Gen 2 holders, and Gen 1 holders. You get in here, there's multiple options that reads here. So buy now, there could be standard auction, there could be Dutch auction, there could be blind bids, there could be whatever, like whatever options. So here I want to purchase this whitelist spot, 200 spots, 200 Jira. I'm buying one. Please confirm your purchase. Then buy list spots. Okay. Purchase. That's it. Right. So my Jira is subtracted. I got my whitelist spot. Right. Like my purchases here. I've got my Super Cyan wallet registered. Done. As a Gen 2 holder, I go here again. I want to buy this for 1,000. Right. I'm bidding 1,000. Oh shit. Wait. 1 second. Sorry. I'm bidding 1,000 here. Bid. No gas fees. Your bid was not high enough because 1,000 is the minimum. 1,001. I'm the highest bidder. All right. So that's the standard auction. I don't have a Jira Walks, so I can see what's happening here. But when I get in here, NFT ownership is required. So I can't participate in this. All right. So also we have implemented a live chat feature. I know Llama kind of dropped it before, but we were supposed to come in. It doesn't matter. It's not a question of who's first or who's last, but it's about like what's important. Live support here. So any kind of problems you have, you put in a message here. From the back end, our teams can pretty much answer from questions what you've got. From this section here, we would be answering. We can see your screen when you're ready to share any issues that you face. We would pretty much be able to check in. So this is just the V1 of our, like our marketplace as such. The possibilities are infinite for us now. Multiple games, multiple whatever we want to launch, everything in the back end side of things, without us having to pay $1 or anything even for every single transaction. All right. So there's pretty much like we would be announcing, what is it? What each of those on the PG marketing? Yeah. So we would be announcing, what are the features like individually, like so scalable. The aim for us is to onboard other projects as well. For example, DWC, how that works. As DWC holders, they won't be earning like Jira tokens that can be like say sold in Uniswap or something, but it'll be allowing them to buy Jira tokens from Uniswap and then come and deposit here. And like for them to participate in the raffles, they pay us an X amount of integration fee. They're getting in, and they contribute. They are any project that's going to come on our marketplace. They have to contribute a percentage of their whitelist allocations, all their whitelist allocations to X market. X market is the market that's pretty much like open to the public. So anybody from the public can pretty much participate. So when they contribute more and more as overall as a community, the Jira ecosystem pretty much like grows, like with whatever the projects may be, like DWC, Dark Echelon, or whatever that could be. We essentially could we can like easily do it. There's filter option here as well. Like if you want to filter based on minimum, max, and auction types and sort by. It's just a V1, guys. I hope you guys also understand in the sense like we would be constantly developing it, constantly improvising it. So this is just the V1 version for us. This is a start, like a kickstart for us to get these things out. It's a little bit of a different and a new thing that we are doing, and I'm sure imagine like playing this kind of play to earn where you don't have to worry about pretty much like burn, or you don't have to You don't want people to see exactly how many tokens is being spent for whatever reason. It's effectively it's a dual case scenario. So you want to use the tokens, or for buying or selling or whatever, and you want to use that, or you want to use the tokens for every transaction, hundreds or thousands of transactions. If you're a heavy buyer or heavy earner of the tokens, you deposit them in, participate in like single Jira bids or single Jira, um, buying and stuff like that. So effectively, that's pretty much this thing. Is there any possibility which provides like a bound between our staking side? Exactly. So just like we would definitely are going to work on a much better system than that. So for now, I feel that it's just for now, like I feel that it's a much better thing than like going to the marketplace to try and buy and all those kind of things for now, right? But we're going to make it much more easier, much more simplified as a system where the staking and all those things, the UI, everything is pretty much this thing, right? It'll be different. So most of the projects have whitelist marketplaces. Why would they be paying to be here? It's not paying Shoreline. It's a very small integration fees, and you'll be surprised how many projects are actually interested to come in, because number one, they don't want to build the tech. Number two, it's easy for them to kind of like participate and be a part of the Jira ecosystem, where it's a shared economy. 5% or 10% of the whitelists are being shared across their holders. In return, we get some benefits like access to their alpha channels or some benefits from those communities. And number three is like it's if we are like a very small 2000 3000 this thing, like 2000 3000 members, right? So it's a token takes 5 seconds to launch, and who's going to maintain the token, who's going to maintain the ecosystem, who's going to maintain any of the things that happen after that, or who it's easy to launch. As I said, it's easy to launch a project in like a minute, but like that's another good point, like what Ken made. Like there's a lot of regulatory issues for projects that are based in the US, but we are not based in the US. So these kind of things where it's almost like treated as a back end digital coin for the other projects that are based in the US as well. And it's not as simple as you think about like launching these tokens. It's about like having to maintain them, having a nice if you get on, like let's say on the back end dev side of things, you would understand the amount of like effort that it goes on. Like people charge like 20 30 ETH just to build like something like a marketplace, for instance. So that's the main difference. It's okay if you do not let's say like 100% believe on that vision at this stage, but you would see as more and more projects come in. If I'm not mistaken, there's already like 12 projects that are interested to be integrated. So if you think that they're not happy to come in, why would they be reaching out to us? And we haven't even marketed this. This is purely like like an internal thing that we showed to few founders that we are close with, and they wanted to come in. So yeah, so does DWC generate JiraX? That's right. They do not generate Jira, they generate JiraX. So effectively like kind of like solving that issue of like a link between our project and their project kind of thing. So and I don't want to talk too much in advance about this thing, but this peer-to-peer, business-to-business model is our like our aim. So peer-to-peer and business-to-business is the model that we would be focusing on. So you can imagine where we could be taking this. So yeah, sir, please generate JiraX for PA, because PA not gonna use, because no use for agent. I think even if you talk to Shoreline now, D55 is gonna say there's no use for Gojira as well. So it's the problem is like I want it's a very new Web3 is a very new and a very like an innovative kind of market. Like so, it's not something that things happen in a day or two. I'm not advocating. I'm not for or against any project, right? I'm not going to talk about PA, but this kind of we are in Web 2.5. Okay, we are not in Web 3. That's what I personally would say, right? So when Web 2.5, what that means is we have to think of ways to, solve some real issues. You're talking about bear market now. What happens? Just imagine when it goes to like bull market, the gas fees and stuff that pretty much like gas fees and stuff that's pretty much gonna be through the roof. This method of dropping is not just going to be for Jira. I can pretty much say that much, right? It's going to be not just for Jira. It can be for ETH. You can deposit ETH and do hundreds of things, right? You can deposit so many other tokens, and then once you're done, you can take your money back and or whatever, So this is purely for the tech side of things. We have to, there's so much of work and so much of testing that went in. This would solve like if you think about the whale side, um, you have to also think about a single holder side who is earning like say who wants to spend only like point 0.1 or 1 token, because for them they're not earning that much. They should have a chance to participate even for the smallest of tokens, but it would make absolutely no sense for them to participate in a raffle every day for 1 Jira token and burn like $5 or $3 of gas. All right. So pretty much like this is pretty much like the main issue as what we saw, and it's going to be even more evident when we move into the bear market and when the gas fees and stuff goes up. It's kind of stupid for a single holder, and we come and be like, yo, you guys participate in raffles and you keep paying gas for everything, or wait with Polygon because and it takes forever to transfer. And ETH is where things are. I'm not really confident, or I'm not really, at this stage, I'm not going to explore into L2. That's pretty much what I would say here for the marketplace. Oh, also, this is not just going to be one more thing that we have added, right? You asked about, what else is there for the V1 for the marketplace? It's a Discord bot. So there's a Discord bot. Essentially, the Discord bot is where you participate. A new listing is going to come up, or if there is going to be you win something because your Discord ID is taken, it's going to ping you, right? I'm going to let Jamie or the devs talk about it. So, online, I think I'll just tell you one thing. Just if you can, just try and go and ask a dev to make a tool and check how much it would cost and how much of work is being involved. uh, it's not like we are just not building it, or we don't want to launch it just for the sake. All right, there's so much of work that's going in, and Alpha Shark spent $1 million for their tool. You can go and check. Alpha Shark spent $1 million for their tool, and we haven't collected close to even like 1/3 of that for us to, and we are trying to build almost an impossible thing, and but still make it feasible. So like if I mean there's a, I would say, like I'm not kind of like getting pissed at this stage, but it's almost like I think there's a little bit of research that's missing in this space, to kind of see how much things cost to build, or how much of bugs or like back end testing. So it's not that we want to like delay something, or we want to like not drop a extra product or something. We have to space out as well. There's no point in us coming and dropping everything at once. There has to be like like a stage by stage, so that people absorb and understand. At the same time, it's not cheap, guys. Like it's like hiring a dev or building a product. It's not cheap to have your or build your own product. So it's a research, it's R&D in in this thing. So something useful first. That's what the community wants. That's this in no way with us going with the marketplace or voxels or any of our launch pads or other things is stopping the tool development or a tool building, right? So that's a completely separate this thing. So in July we announced that that's a product that's coming out, right? So like, but there have been some other like like roadblocks that we faced. So how do you expect us to solve the roadblocks?
Yeah, can I add
Yeah,
something there, Shan? Because
sure,
I'm
sure.
part of
Go for
I'm part of the dev
it.
team,
I'm
and
part of the.
yeah, and so it's kind of backing Shan up here. Is that like I don't think people realize the cost of making any sort of tool or any sort of development in Web3, and I think a big thing that gets kind of ignored is the fact that the space moves so quickly, and like actual development takes time. So we don't want to release a tool or a marketplace that is already 3 months behind. So we have to work at this kind of insane pace to keep up with it. And that means that maybe it takes a little bit longer, but we're kind of trying to think ahead in a sense, and that thinking ahead is what puts Gojira ahead of the rest. In that, like, if it takes a month longer, but the product is 3 months ahead, that's the value. There's no point in making what Alpha Sharks made a while back. We want to make what's better than them. So, like, if it takes another week, if it takes another couple of weeks from what was initially planned, just because we've been through testing and we've seen that we want to add some certain things and we want to add features, that's just how it has to be. Like, Gojira won't put out a product that is less than the best.
Thanks for that, Pab. But also, can you also explain about the Discord bot there? That what we are doing for what or simply any of you guys can also explain about the Discord bot, how it's connected to the marketplace, or any other points that I missed about the marketplace. V1, the version.
Yeah, simply, do you want to take the Discord integration? I think it's something that's quite a fun feature that.
Yeah, we added a couple of things that it'll, the marketplace will integrate with our Discord. So there'll be like a channel for the marketplace items. So like anytime a new item's coming out or has gone live, it'll post in that channel. It'll post the winners of auctions, raffles. It'll display purchases of people. So yeah, we tried to add as much as we could to integrate into Discord so that you guys can check out that channel and see what people that have won and what's going on.
So ideally, the aim is to kind of like automate and make sure people don't miss it. So if I'm not mistaken, it pings them or sends them a message, or there's a separate channel in the Discord. So this is also ready. So it's not coming in V2 or something. It's kind of like ready. So it'll be launching with the marketplace. So basically, if you win something, and since the Discord ID is there, it would send pretty much a notification to the person with that Discord ID. And also a channel that will pretty much like ping when any of the listings or new listings are added, and pretty much like, see, the thing is, right, like, this is like, it's not just if people can like, for those of you who's imaginative, this bit of tech or this kind of a development is not just for let's say for just marketplaces or whitelist. All right, this is a tech that's kind of like opening up so much of possibilities for us, for like to come up. I'm even scared to kind of like tell a lot of things, in the sense where, because the expectations are like, if you tell or share something, it's like it's going to come out tomorrow. The blockchain is a new technology. It's not like some internet kind of a game that you just develop today and then tomorrow the things are out, right? Like, so it's a new tech, and there's a lot of roadblocks that come in, and when you start mapping it out, it seems things are fine, and then when actually in the middle of the development you realize that it's not that fine that it seemed like in the start. You got to reroute, rework. It's easy to talk, it's easy to this thing. I'm not, as I said, I'm fully taking up responsibility for any of the products that we develop or we come up with, but I cannot take up responsibility for us not not like spending or burning too much of cash, as there's always, when you throw money, there is things can be done. Like Alpha Shark is offering their tools to us because they're not making whatever money or whatever reason, they're offering to us to buy the tools completely. Are we ready to shed in like whatever $500,000 to buy the tools completely and run it? I don't have that much of cash in the sense to burn to just buy a ready-made product like that. All right, so it's pretty much like, for us, we gotta build it and develop it by ourselves, and we gotta come up with a product that kind of can compete with these kind of like VC funded or heavily let's say like like Alpha Sharks, for example. They raised about, like, they sold at, if I'm not mistaken, 0.3 ETH and 6,000 supply or something. It was 1,800 ETH. That's about, at that time, it was $3 or $4 million were raised just for a tool, right? $3 to $4 million was raised, pretty much just for a tool. So, and Trade Snapers did as well. Like, they're kind of like out of money and they're shutting down. So Yeah, I'm just hoping that as holders, as Kajira holders, at least we kind of understand that, like, as a team, that we are putting in our efforts to try and keep it cost effective, but at the same time come up with a product that, like, a lot of projects or even the, like, businesses or peer to peer, they would be happy to use. As I said, DWC and few other projects will be announcing one by one who would be part of this JiraXchange. It's just a testament that they're happy with the product. They tested the product, they love the idea, they're coming on board, they're paying. If you ask who's gonna pay when they can mint their tokens, yeah, I'm gonna prove it to you with the number of projects that are on board,
Mhm.
getting onboarded or already been confirmed for our marketplace. So, I
Yeah,
mean, like, I'm happy.
I want to add a couple points here that we're looking we built in this marketplace, building our tools, but we mostly what we're doing is we're looking forward, right? We want to make sure we all know that this is costless, this is accessible, and all that. But at the end of the day, for us, it's we're trying to make this for everybody, not just Gojira holders. There's several other projects gonna come in and board. They're on the lineup and all that. And mainly the main idea is that this is pretty much a scalable product. We can pretty much design this and constructed this to scale, right? So fully developed by our team, Infinite Studio. We covered the tokenomics with our Jira Money Mines, built-in Jira token soft staking is inside the marketplace. So if you think about it, like this is so much more that we could do with this marketplace. This can be essentially like go to stop for everybody. One day, hopefully, and we're not only stopping here. We're gonna have V2. We have some other new features planned for this. So hopefully you guys gonna like those new features. So far we pretty much covered what we promised. We have all the functions that needs to be there: buy, raffles, client bid, all those things. So there is still a lot more to go.
Yep. So pretty much, I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, like, definitely, DJ. I'm not gonna go too much into it, but they made a tweet. The Trade Sniper. They made a tweet that the funds were mismanaged. They did raise $2 to $3 million for the stuff, whatever they did, and now they do not, like, pretty much they don't have funds, kind of thing. So they might move to subscription model, or I don't know what the plan is, but it's as I said, like, I don't know how to re-emphasize the fact that NFTs or Web3 is in a purely in a development phase. I can ignore certain questions and just keep going forward, but I don't want to ignore because I want this as a well-educated community, like a community. If someone feels that they've got some kind of a talent that they can contribute to the project, we are more than happy to pay for you guys and come up and handle certain things. It's a community built. We are not taking $1 million salary. We are not taking all these kind of things. We are pretty much putting everything back into R&D, research, and development to build sustainable models, right? And we're putting in our time. Like, I'm not advertising. I'm putting 16, 17 hours a day, but it's not a joke. Like, it's if I, it's a minimum. That's like a 12-hour day is like a minimum. All right. So of course, like, if you want to come and help in any aspect and for voluntary work, 100%, like, it would definitely be beneficial. And if you and Shoreline, if, as I said, like, it's easy to comment. If you want to join us and help us in any way, like a product testing or ideas or bringing in devs or bringing in whatever you could. I offered you that job even a while back. I'm happy to even pay for that. I'm not even sure if he's here, but the thing is, like, I hope as a community, like, we pretty much, like, we kind of, like, and we even for product testing, we have been picking up people from within the Genesis or Gen 2. I think G has been picking up few people even for the 3 verse, the game test and game development. Um, see the it's, as I said, and there's a suggestions form. Suggestions form is not about. I get, like, as I said, the suggestions form. Some of them are like, do it fast, do 100, had 100 utilities, but the solution column that's there is empty. Like, what's the solution? Like, it's I'm happy to. I'm also, I mean, we as a community or as a team, we are also learning, we are adapting, we are kind of improvising based on our experiences and whatever we encounter. But we are like we are trying to achieve a lot of non let's say, being a non VC funded project. We are trying to achieve a lot more than what they do and keep up the income stream. you know kind of keep going as well. So the as I said, like if you guys have got any kind of ways to improvise, add, even for the tools or any of the products that we are developing, come listen to us, come have a chat, see what we are developing. I'm not gonna like we won't be leaking our entire secret, but you can see what's under development. We are pretty confident that with something like this kind of a Web 2.5 model, that's JiraXchange. It's you like number one, you're not gonna miss out on whitelists that you win, for starters, or anything that you win in that for that sake. Number two is it's kind of like it's gonna add value both to whales and also to single NFT holders, for example, right? Who can participate even for the slightest or the smallest number of tokens, without having to like kind of keep wasting dollars. So and from here, if you guys have got more suggestions to add more features, which we already have like more features that's to be added, right? So it's basically like we have more features to be added, and this is just like a V1 that we just want to kind of like launch without any bugs and stuff. And essentially that's pretty much it. Any other questions or anything from Jamie or the dev team?
Yeah, I think I'll add to that comment about how it's a V1 in that, like, when you're developing a tech product, kind of when you see something like Twitter or Instagram or something like that, you're seeing the current iteration of it and you're not seeing what was initially released. It's very, very hard to get perfect product off the bat. To start with a perfect product, you will never get out of testing. You will never get out of trying to force it to market. So you release a good product and then you iterate on that over time to kind of add the features that you want and like make it as good as possible. So I'm quite proud that we've started with the quality of product we have, but obviously, especially Shan and Jamie have a lot in the pipeline to keep us busy.
Yeah, I mean, like as I said, like this one, I think it'll as a simple thing as a service, for example, like to kind of like allowing you guys to deposit ETH and like participate in like few things. Like we have also planned multiple tokens, other projects tokens can be implemented if needed. From the back end side of things, we can do a lot more things. We got a little more control. Don't have to worry about like outages or like delays or something. So when you start using the product, there's also this component of stress testing with multiple 100 people using or 1,000 people using at the same time, which we would kind of get to know only when you guys start testing. So the essentially, I think if I'm not mistaken, the launch is tomorrow for this, so it'll be live for you guys to use tomorrow, starting with the Genesis, 2 or 3 days later for the Gen 2, and then a couple of days later to Jira Walks as well, because we just want to make sure, like stage by stage, in case there's any bugs or something that we come up with, even with the live chat or even with whatever like features that we have there. We just want to test it, and the aim is to move towards automation so that you guys essentially should reach a point where you kind of can set up, use these many tokens on these kind of projects and stuff like that, and you don't have to even worry, and it can pretty much participate automatically for you on your behalf by itself, and then like kind of ping when you win or something like that. So there's few things that we want to work on and like test on in terms of automation and multiple other features. So yeah, I think this is one step for us, and next week, again, like after this is pretty much done, and next week we pretty much hopefully would be having our next drop or next launch or something like that, with more features being pushed and other products that we have been in development. So whenever they are ready or whatever is ready, would probably be in test for or live demo or something for the following week. So if anyone's got any questions, you can tag me to come up if you want. And if you want, the exchange UI and functionality looks like a great start in this direction. Wilco, I think you asked this question about I think UI for staking as well. Staking is going to be changed completely in the way it works. We do not want to work. I mean, it's something that we started early on. As I said, it's not our like a in-house dev team, if I may say, in that sense, right? So So we basically are gonna move the staking and other things as well away from the current platform. Hopefully, where you do not even have to claim and then deposit here, but then you basically would be earning. Oh, wait, did I? Okay, basically you would be you don't have to do two things, but directly where you earn in the back, you'd earn JiraX and you can convert to Jira if needed. All right. So that's the aim for us. Yes, that's right. So really, can we move staking website? Yes, that's the plan, right? So for now, it's an improvement and an update from what we have as a current method and a current product that this thing. So we are. Yeah, I think Jamie has also posted. So we're moving towards soft staking. So you don't have to stake shit. Just kind of like hold it. I think we tested few things. I think for what we're gonna do, soft staking makes more sense. Soft staking means you do not have to go and click stake or unstake and stuff. It's also going to help us with our what to say, like it's with our insurance model that we are working on. So so basically, King, like the you don't the current site is not up to par, right? The staking one, and that's that product being one of the cheapest in the market for us itself like costed few $1,000s. That's all I can say, in the sense like when we didn't have our own dev team. It's when you run a project, I think Java or Small Brain or even what's his name, what's the other guy, Shell Holmes. I think they started like they used to ask a lot. I think especially Java used to ask a lot of questions before, and he started running his own project, and then he realizes and he comes in DMs and he's like, "Guys, manage your funds. How do you do this?" Like in the sense, like these guys are charging this much, that much money is just flying here and there. It's not it's not a very simple or a easy thing to do unless you kind of have funds like PX, and maybe like it'll take years. This thing, right? So I think, yeah, pretty much the aim is for us to move away from all our previous products, have a one-stop point for everything kind of thing. But yeah, as I said, I'm not gonna put a blame or anything that before we didn't have money and all those kind of things. Honestly, before, what we did was good for the project. If we had blown out our funds before, we would have been one of those dead projects at this stage without funds. So at that stage, we did what was right, and I have no regrets till this date, right? So I have no regrets till this date that at that moment we took a decision to have like a little bit of a like a ready-made thing by Ox Inu or something. So but now we have moved to a point where we got to start showing up our products, and our team has got to develop those products. So that's where we stand, and always down for suggestions. Logical suggestions are any time taken, and we want to it's not a one brain job. It's like it's multiple multiple kind of like suggestions, and we take up whatever makes sense, implement it. It's a community run, community built for the community, with the community funds for the community, at the same time put ourselves in the map. So yeah, that's where I would like to pretty much tell about it. So um, yeah, pretty much. So any other questions you guys have got?
I think I'll throw in a comment about the staking plus there. I think a big thing that I'm noticing from Gajira now is that they're very much in a position to focus on the future and future-proofing everything we do now. Yes, it takes a lot of research and development for these kind of things, and kind of expecting and predicting what we're going to do next. But moving to a soft staking would open a lot more avenues for the future, as opposed to being kind of constricted in what we can do.
Of course, the aim is for you guys to earn it in the back end, right? The JiraX, and move towards withdrawing only if you need. So not the other way around. So now it's other way around. So that's pretty much what makes a lot of sense to keep things smooth. Just pretty much I would say, like just give us. It's going to be regular updates. So we are not one. As I said, I don't know whoever is ready to believe this or listen to this. Like a lot of projects with money, they do take time to do or release some stuff, right? Like it's Again, I don't like to compare any projects, but a lot of projects with like 20, 30, 40 million dollars, and like, so it's with that, like, with a year later, like pretty much there is nothing to even look forward to. I'm not going to comment there. Maybe they're testing some other a crazy tech or something where they're stuck out or whatever, but like, I think we have raised the bar. I'm happy in a way that people are questioning, like, like, say what Shoreline asked us, like, expecting a lot from a project like ours. In a sense, we have raised the bar, and I'm really proud of that. I'm not gonna be like, bro, expect less from us. I'm happy that you guys have that expectations. We are doing our best to kind of, like, delivering things with budget in mind as well, right? So we're happy that we set up that kind of an expectation where we are compared with projects with multi-million dollars in their vault. So that's definitely not something I'm gonna be like, guys, don't think that way. We only raised 15 ETH at first, and then 300 ETH after that, and then, like, we raised whatever, like, for Jiraverse it was another 450 ETH or whatever. It's not about, like, I don't want that. I'm happy that we set the bar, and that as holders, you guys are expecting a similar level of this thing, what you would expect from all these projects. With I saw a tweet by Alex Becker the other day. Again, I'm no Alex Becker. I'm not, like, anywhere as rich as him, or as, like, this thing as him, but I can say that I'm decently as much as connected as him in the space. But he made a tweet the other day that about Neo Tokyo. So they were like, community built, community running, community built whatever merch, community built the whitelist marketplaces, communities running the whitelist collabs. So the entire Discord is pretty much a networking sector. And then they raised 4,000 ETH just from a outer sale, which was 1 ETH each, and that was 4,000 ETH. And then it's moved towards completely a community run project with a 2,000 supply and 7 ETH floor or something. I know that Genesis was obviously a free mint, but then, like, Gen 2s were sold at 1 ETH. So I saw that and I was like, man, like, what a way to kind of, like, build a brand, like, where you have 4,000 ETH in your vault plus the royalties, but the community is doing every single thing. The devs from the community is building without any funds taken from the vault of the founder. And they pretty much, like, they kind of have a huge ass floor than us at this stage, because the community started looking at it as a networking Discord. At least they kind of made to work towards something like that, where initially Alex was fudded so hard for doing, or for announcing that I'm not going to do shit at this stage. You guys do it. It's a community project. It's a networking project. But now when you look at it after like 4 months, essentially, what's happening is the community is inside protecting the bags, kind of, in a way, and they're also working, like, all the products. If I'm not mistaken, I think Wilco, I'm also holding a Neo Tokyo. I bought it like fucking like 25 ETH or something at $100,000. So I'm down huge, but it doesn't matter. Like, I took my decision myself. But the point is that I bought it because I wanted the networking and all those kind of things. Definitely, it's happening. I don't have the time now to spend a lot of hours in the Discord. But the point what I'm trying to make is, at that point when he made this statement that Neo Tokyo is a fucking, like, I'm not gonna be running this like a founder. You guys are the community. You guys are gonna run it. So look at this, right? For example, for those talking about merch, for instance, this is a post that he made. NTers created a merch. NT members designed the merch. NTers buy the merch with Bytes. Bytes are split between dev, designer, and NT. NT Byte funds new dev projects with Bytes. All right. So it's basically the community, and even the whitelist and the whitelist build and any of the websites has been built by within the community. The games, what they're developing and using Bytes, again, is built within the community. So it's built an amazing, let's say, a networking community as such, or the community adapted because they're like, put a lot of money. I'm not saying that, as I said, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but the point is that we do not have much of funds, not even like or something raised for us, plus millions in royalties, for us to pump out projects or products like within like minutes or hours, right? We have to work with this is what I'm deferring or would like to say about like having realistic this thing expectations versus kind of not expecting a lot of things from us, right? We are so happy that the bar is set high, but at the same time, I'm just hoping that the realistic side of things, um, you know, that we are not a huge or heavily funded project. We could have been if we wanted to, but we still are happy with the decision what we took, and we are in no way behind hundreds of projects or anything. We are still here. We are still like throwing out products. We are still throwing relevant projects out. You tell me now, tomorrow if bull market starts, um, also the process inside really start to build up big time, but leadership in Gojira is better. Thanks a lot for recognizing that, because I think those who recognize they're still staying with us, and those who don't feel that way, obviously they're moving towards other projects. All I can say is, we, as I say this always, like, we are doing the right things. We are not like slow rugging or slow burning, taking funds for ourselves, or like mismanaging our funds or anything. We are doing what is ethical and innovative, and building networks, still have the name in the space. We are still making waves. There are a couple of them who bought a Gojira Gen 2 just because they saw the news that we won the DGNIM finals, and that we are also in the finals of WAGMI. They're like, how can I not come in? And two of them bought it. There's multiple people who met in IRL who bought it. The people who are in spaces today, there's 2 or 3 people who bought it. They're buying because we are not going and like shilling it just for the sake. They like it. They feel that they're connecting with the way we are doing. As I said, Sholan, when you weren't here, I told that still the offer what I gave is open for you to come in as a part of a team, and try and drive or give suggestions how we can kind of make these tools or any of the other products that we are developing to come out faster. As I said, I'm not mocking or I'm not being sarcastic here. I'm being really open here, because you got to see from the back what we are doing. Like you really think that I'm really like happy, like sitting at like waking up till like 7 a.m. in the morning, trying to push even for the minor things, like that has to be done, whereas I could be sleeping and happily look at the timing that that, I mean, I don't know if I don't want to just post it just for the sake, but like for you guys to just have a time at what time, like we just because I don't tweet about it always doesn't mean that we are not working. Like we me and Jamie have been awake till like 6 or 7 in the morning. And even the devs, they've been working overtime to it's almost everyday scenario, like because why we are doing this, because we cannot hire more and more people. We have to take up more responsibilities on ourselves to keep costs low, right? It's easy for us to hire another 10 people, and then 6 months later we burnt out our funds and be like, guys, what do we do? Right? What do we do, guys? We burnt our funds. We don't have funds to continue, and then like put up a announcement of funds are dead. We want the community to come up with an action. We are leaving the wall to the community. Do whatever you want, and go away. Which is what's the case that's happening with so many of the projects, right? Like at the stage. So it's like we can do that, but we don't want in any kind of we want to take up the responsibility. We want to be responsible of the funds. We are treating, as I said, it's we're not treating them as consumers, but we are treating them as, we value every single dollar that we spend, or every single dollar that we raised. So again, I'm happy for you guys to give suggestions if you feel we are being slow in some aspect, or if you feel that we are burning funds somewhere, if you feel we're not going in a particular direction, give us a solution. More than happy to listen. Give us an alternative. You're like, Shan, this JiraXchange looks like shit, I don't like the concept. I'm happy to get on a call with me, or even come up on the stage right now and let me know, or let the devs know what's missing or what can be added. And every day there's access to one or the other team members. We have never told no for any of the questions. Like, I could easily avoid the questions I don't want to answer. Right now, I'm giving an open stage. If there's anybody who wants to come up and tell that, Shan, this JiraXchange is shit, it doesn't make sense the way it's designed or developed, and I don't see why you would do like this, just come up on the stage. Let's have a conversation. Let's see if we can improvise, or let's see where we made our mistakes. Right. So this is where I'm opening up the, the table, like as in, like, for you guys to come up and just speak what's to be added. And if you are feeling like same thing like what Shoreline was feeling, that tools are being delayed and this product was not out or merch is not out, um, as I said, I'm more than again happy for you guys to come and see what things are happening in the back end, to maybe give some suggestions. Maybe you guys are a better, you might have like a better like product management experience because you're like maybe like been working for 10, 20, 30 years or something. The tech side, I really respect and appreciate Jonas Blaine. I don't know if he's in the he's a Genesis holder and he's constantly been like investing in Gojira. He's really pretty rich and he's super knowledgeable. A 40, I'm assuming he's in his 40s kind of thing. A high level director in like San Francisco or something as a CTO or something for a tech company. He pretty much went through our marketplace. He gave some suggestions, and this is his feedback, right? This is not something, as I said, I can just keep like posting all this in Twitter just as a screenshot and stuff. For us to just kind of like keep pumping our stuff and all those things, right? Like he was really amazing in the sense like he came in, he had a look within 5 minutes, he gave us some suggestions, feedback. He loved the concept of what we did for the marketplace, and he came up with few ideas which I don't want to tell at this stage, just for competitive edge or whatever, right? So even for the marketplace, what to be added in the version 2, that's going to be kind of like that's going to make it like even more attractive. So the thing is like people like him, like who have got experience more than us, right? More than myself or more than Jamie in a different niche or a different like experience level. I'm not gonna be like, I'm a founder, I know everything. Jamie's a founder, he knows everything. We are being open here. We are as human as as you guys are, but we have a better maybe let's say we have a vision that we want to as I said, like in the last AMA, it's like it's become a part of our life, like that we wanna we wanna build ourselves a name. And trust me guys, it's not easy to not compare yourself with projects like Doodles or Clonex or something and be like, damn man, what a fucking amount of watches they've got and things they're doing. It's not an easy thing. It's not just about money. When money is not involved, the next step that comes in is the pride, right? And your pride is something that definitely hits if you're actually genuinely caring about the project, right? So we care about our project and we do compare. As much as I try to avoid it, it happens on a regular basis, the comparison side of things. So like it happens and we are like, how do we improvise, how do we add more value, and how do we compete with these heavyweights? So this is something like it's not like we are happy and we're like, hey, we're making some money, we're sitting here and just launching something. So if you guys have got experience in any of those fields, product development side of things, or any of those kind of things where you feel that you can improvise PG as a thing, we don't want to go down the Neo Tokyo's route, but at least we are happy to hear your thoughts and opinions, and your guidance or suggestion. But we will still execute it ourselves, not expecting the community to execute, but for us to execute, but you guys to come up and give your suggestions or feedback. This thing. So that's pretty much what I would say. I would like to share this. One second. All right. So I'm being very open here. I don't know if I should even be sharing this, but I mean, but it's not. I'm not taking this as a negative. Shoreline, to answer your question, right? Where are you? Are you here again? Did you leave? Are you here? So just read the statement. He's a big level guy. So we've had him for user testing. You're asking why didn't we launch the tools? So he tested both. He tested both tools and the marketplace. Please read the chat, guys, like for a minute if you can. What his feedback was, right? Right. So this is what he gave us as a feedback. He tested for his marketplace, what he felt, and being from a tech company and a tech background, what he felt and his feedback. For him, he felt the tool side could be much better in terms of the UI, and he was like, it doesn't generate that excitement. So it makes sense in the sense because him being we value his opinion, because when I was on a kind of chatting with him, he kind of told what is his roles and responsibilities in real life. makes a lot more sense for someone like him to kind of give a feedback, and I value and respect it. So there are two options now. I kind of go against it and come and launch just for the sake. I'm like, community wants it, I'm going to launch and come up with like an average kind of thing. I think Ham is here. A few of the Genesis holders, Mass Bro. I think I posted the links of both tools and also the marketplaces to both of them, to few of them from the Genesis as well. Like about like maybe 15 people had a look, and from the perspective they were happy with the marketplace side of things, but tool side of things they felt that you can do a little more better job. So here is the question. So we got a feedback from our own holders with a product that's ready and running, but they felt that the UI can have an improvement, right? So what do we do? Like, do we just launch it because we want to just be like, I don't care, people just want it quickly? Or do we try and improvise it and make sure these guys are happy first as an approval, as a first point of contact, and then do we launch? Right? So I cannot be as open, as more open than this. I even shared our conversation, what we had with one of the holders. Like, as I said, I don't know if I should have done it, but still for you guys to be for you guys to have a look at the process, or the things what we take. We aren't just taking decisions by ourselves. As a community, we want you guys to be happy with any of the products that come out from PG, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what I've got to say. Now, after reading this, anyone has got questions, from the Genesis point of view, and considering their opinions and stuff, you guys got any questions? Obviously available here. Somebody asked, Relic, is there Relic, was it? Yeah, we are almost this thing. Can you elaborate why we still don't have any merch? What is holding us? Something most wanted and probably able to pay whatever manufacturing or shipping costs you have. Is there maybe any legal problem? No, absolutely not. I told you, I think last we have already signed a deal with um, what is it? What is it? Merch, that partnership with Top Drawer. So Top Drawer is the one that did for Invisible Friends and even Bored Apes, the first one, so which was the good quality one. So we essentially have signed the contract like a month and a half back. So it should be technically available. I think, I don't know if Ken is here. It should have technically been ready by October 15. They gave us a design. We kind of been going back and forth with a few of the changes. It should essentially be available by this month. But again, I stop giving any dates, because the thing like merch, these guys are delaying, man. I don't know what, like, it's it just happens. I can't, I'm not gonna go deep into it, so I'm not gonna talk about anything until, like, we actually get the product in hand. So that is not like an in-house designed or a developed merch, right? It's gonna be like an outside this thing. So yeah, essentially it's going to be it's the first like a V1 kind of thing, but our aim is to move towards like an in-house merch development or merch design kind of thing, and not just like low quality stuff, like some decent ones where we could involve everybody from the Web3 crypto non NFT community as well. So for now we're just going with Top Draw. Yep, so that's pretty much, we should be having it by hopefully by mid of this month. No worries. Like much, like as I said, like there's no reason for us to delay. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like didn't want merch to be the first product from us coming out. So now JiraXchange is our first, like, I would say I'm 100% proud of this product, like, what's come out. So this is what I want people to first come out, remember or something, than merch, and be like merch being the only thing that came out from Jira's own product at the start, right? So now that the merch side of things is pretty much, like most of the projects after a year, you think about it, the only thing they've done is launch merch. Even not even like basic, even say whitelist marketplace in that sense. They haven't even launched that, right? So considering that, when you think about it, what has Kojira launched? We have done a lot of other things. Our Launchpad as a service has been amazing and stuff, but as a product, right? As a product, what have we done? The previous one, I'm not happy about. I'm not the staking one. I'm not happy about the marketplace. The current marketplace, I'm not happy about. I don't consider that as a product of PG. I mean, it's okay. I mean, we launched it, but I'm not going to consider that as a PG product. So basically, we are what to say, this is a product that we're happy to call it our product, right? And when people start using it, like, come on, lightning fast purchases for multiple things without paying gas for single this thing, and it's almost like and still you can use those tokens in a two-way. So as I call it, like, it's a Web 2.5 thing, which makes, we have support any kind of issues we can solve from the back end, and it's allows other communities to participate, public to participate. So yeah. What was the other one? MDLB. So about other than whitelist, we have plenty, man. I'm more than happy for you to come and add. Whitelist is just one thing. I'm just, as I said, as I said, I don't want to just announce something till it's not there or not ready, because when that's happening, that's when people are getting like a little bit pissed that, oh, this is you told this and it's not out by tomorrow. So this exchange, that's why we're calling it JiraXchange, right? So it's not called Jira Marketplace for a very a particular reason, right? So it's called it's called JiraXchange, right? For essentially the same reason, because we don't want it to be just seen as a whitelist marketplace. All right, it's one component of it. That's it, right? But yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna go much more than that. But do DM us about your ideas, whatever that we can add in there. Shoreline, I think I already answered that in the start. So this is where the wallet is, where we are getting the launchpad funds. It's still not delivered. So this is pretty much where the thing is. We are not putting everything in multisig because of accessibility reasons. All right, so you can check all the transactions or whatever you want. We didn't just remember one thing though. There is no one forced us to do any of this or this transparency. It's something that we have volunteered to do it. So I think, I think as a community, I hope we also see that we, at this stage, it's more about the trust that, having some funds out of the vault is for accessibility and not for, for us to just kind of like run away with that money. All right. So it's not this thing, right? So yeah. Will there be any royalties in JiraXchange if you put it? You can burn Jira tokens by converting. At this stage, no. But this is the concept that we are working on. Vic, like a tax for every transaction. But we want to put enough use cases for the tokens out first before we start implementing something like that, where the tokens it's valuable and is actually useful. Because right now NFT market is full of speculation. Why is ApeCoin holding $6? Because it's speculation, right? Don't know exactly the use case or any of those, or why is even M1st at 1 ETH floor, when the founder rugged, he's still earning royalties or whatever, I think, and it's at 1 ETH floor, the M1st. If people think it's for the art, all right, but it's all run on speculation, and some of them they run, I don't know, for some reason they still hold their value. So there's a lot of these coins like ApeCoin, because obviously Ape being the number one project in ETH, there's a lot of speculation around it. So it's holding the value. So our tokens, we want to make sure that there's enough use cases before we implement the tax. The tax will be an amazing thing for what we have planned, peer-to-peer, business to business. So this is pretty much let's say the hint, or for you guys to think. It's up to you guys how you want to interpret that. So our move or our shift is going to be towards peer-to-peer and business to business model with the tokens within JiraXchange as well, as a midterm goal. So obviously when that happens, there's going to be like taxes and stuff. Remember, Shan posted 80/80 partnering with loads of projects. Is that a statement or a question? Not sure, right? 95% want merch in general. Really, okay, again something in real life. So, I think a lot of them wear merch. I'm not going out without a merch, to be honest. I kind of misunderstood or thought that it's not that valuable, but then I'm not going out for any meetups without like any of my NFT merches or even the Jira merch that I got from Singapore. Who was it? I think even Zero Cool was wearing his merch yesterday for DJ9 launch or whatever.
Mm.
So what is it? Yeah, RNA, we minted Genesis 10 months ago and we weren't a company. The structure in place, funds to the market. We are a community that didn't know each other 1 year ago, prone to have a viable company in 1 year. I mean, like it's easy to put the numbers when you say that we were there 10 months back. But 10 months back, it was a 300 supply launched at 0.05 with essentially it was like a like I don't even know what to say after that. Like it's a 333 launched at 0.05, and then in March is when we kind of launched a Gen 2. So and then we went full time technically, as I said, from August 1st. So as I said, like for those of you who have stuck around from the start, you guys know what we have been doing or what's been happening. Yes, the value has so far only been whitelist at the time for Genesis, but I'm also happy to see some of the models that you see is happening in the NFT space, that we are also like researching constantly, right, to kind of adapt or improvise on what's happening. So yeah, I mean, like it's okay for you guys if you have some kind of ideas or suggestions or some other projects that are doing. There's kind of like few play to earns and all those kind of things. It's not like we're completely ignoring that, but I said like we have 25% stake in GMC and that's a play to earn. And if I don't think we can develop a very better product for within a month than GMC, and having a 25% royalties forever from GMC apart from the funds what we are getting, is pretty much like having a stake in their product. And I don't know if you guys tried GMC, but it's a very cool thing. And Kongs themselves being a big play to earn community, they love the concept. So having a stake means that anything the GMC is gonna do well, we are fucking gonna be rocking with 25% of the thing as well. So in this market, we made 60 ETH, 45 from the sales, 15 from the royalties. The wallet, what I posted, is where the money would be sent. And if you, I'm gonna be a little bit, this cut and rate here in the sense like we are not running away with the funds just because we're not putting in the vault. I don't like to be treated like it's some kind of offense. Vault is purely what we raised from Genesis, Gen 2, and from royalties. Anything moving from further than that, we are putting in this vault for accessibility, right? There's two or three wallets, and Aldrin is pretty much preparing a full-on report for what wallets hold what and where things are coming from. If you're gonna keep pushing for more transparency, I don't know what more I can say. So I'm gonna stop this point here. Shan, this question is a bit different from others. I don't know if this has been answered before. Gajira has been rebranded consultancy. Don't you think it would be better to revamp the current one? I mean, a very good point, Achint, and 100% it's true. Our website is being revamped. It's being again. Don't I'm really scared to tell anything till it's ready because again, like I don't want it being coming to my neck tomorrow. But Amresh is pretty much leading the website. So it's been in works for about like I would say right from a month. I think a month and a half ish. So yes, website is being revamped. We're adding a lot more like professional elements to it. We have been getting all these launchpad and services without any marketing. There's been zero marketing done. It's purely projects reaching out to us through our emails or even through our Twitter DMs or something. So that's a very valid point, and I understand, and thanks for bringing that up. So 100%, there's a full-on revamp of website. The staking website is going to be out. The old marketplace is going to be out. The old website is out. Discord is going to be probably revamped as well to kind of keep it a little more simple. There are quite few tasks. We have few people doing a lot of stuff. I don't potentially, I mean, Personally, I don't like to take a lot of free help from the community, but I probably got to start using that maybe to kind of like fasten the process, because every time I hire someone, we would like to reward them with something, but then we cannot be taking more staffs in. So that's where the problem is. RNA 333 times 0.05 equals 16.65 each starting capital. Nope. 33 were free mints, remember? We gave it for people who do not have funds. So it was only 300. So 33 were free mints as well during the 333 Genesis. So just for those of you who do not know. Um, yeah, I mean, it was purely like building a narrative that you can still make it in the space with $0. It's not like me and Jamie didn't have money. We did a direct launch in OpenSea, spent $0, built a community, started this 333 meta kind of thing to an extent, raised 15 ETH, ran everything from there. I asked something about Launchpad. Did you connect GMC with Cybercongs? Or they already had connections with Cybercongs? We connected. Everything with the Launchpad project, we do the connections, we do the groundwork. Our team works to leverage all our network connections to help those projects. So connecting to Llama, connecting to even whoever, in the space, even running or providing collab whitelists or anything, we give the advice. Who made the first contract by Relic? It was basically me and Jamie manually listing it on OpenSea. It was free, it was $0. So art was done by Jamie. We spent $0 on contract. We listed manually in OpenSea. It was a fucking horrendous task. We spent 8 hours listing it personally on OpenSea. So it was one hell of a time. Yes, we will be getting around 45 ETH from Mint and 15 ETH from royalties at this stage. So 60 ETH from GMC to us at this stage, plus forever 25% of the royalties. So treat it as an equity in the project. So if GMC does well, we help them. The way the game goes, it actually revolutionizes or changes the way the market sees it. It's 25% for us, yes. I mean, these are the things I think I know it's a bear market and stuff, but I would like to honestly suggest people to also start seeing the positives what the team is doing than just focus on the negatives, right? As I said again, show me another project where without spending $1 brings in 45 ETH into the project and also still have 25% of equity in a project, without again spending this thing and also still being part of the play to earn ecosystem. So I'm just this is the trying, I mean, there's not some paper money. We are proving with what's happening, live and real. And there's 3 other solid projects that's in pipeline. It's not just a stupid Web3, NFT thing, but it's some nice Web2 companies that we're working on proposals for tender and stuff. So, it's basically, there's quite a lot of things that's coming up. So yeah, the cost reason why initially Genesis was ERC or 11.5. G7, we and Jamie, we wanted to build this narrative, all right. For those of you who do not know, I'm coming from a crypto background, and I've told this few times that I've made really good money from buying ETH under of ETH under $100 kind of thing. Let's leave it there. And Jamie also comes from a job where he is a CEO of a business in Canada. He made a really good money. So when we both met, it was it was a thing where I came in as an advisor, and we didn't want to do this for money. We wanted to just have an alpha group kind of thing where we kind of distribute whitelist spots because the grinding was getting super hard. So we just thought this Gojira kind of thing, it kind of caught my attention. So I came to him and I was like, yo, do you want some help? I would like to be some advisor or something for your project. And we agreed on this thing. And then we were discussing and we came up with a 333 number. And my pay at the time, what we decided, if Genesis mints out, was 2 ETH. right? So Jamie gets 13 ETH to run the project, and I get like 2 ETH just for a little bit of fun and stuff. So I was pretty much running the Twitter, running like games inside Discord server, like like some like stupid ass funky games, random stuff. Guess the capital, or sorry, guess the flag, or name the capital, or some kind of stupid games. Was giving whitelist, spending so much of time with members, and kind of like building some relationships and stuff. It was really good. So it was basically 15 ETH, and I was supposed to get like 2 ETH, and then I kind of, I don't know, just fate or whatever. I became like the face of the project way, like because I was kind of like very active and vocal on Twitter. I was doing a lot of alpha calls, by the way, and trust me, I don't think anyone can beat my alpha call of last year's October 2021. It's like it was one of the craziest calls that I've ever made, like 6 7 products, chain runners while it was minting, noundles, feudals at 0.01, everything shot to like 2 3 ETH. So it basically started as a small, like an alpha group where we make getting whitelists easy for people. And then like I don't know, like people just came into spaces. They like whatever they I'm blessed that they liked the way that we were thinking and stuff. And then they started buying in, and it started pumping a lot. So yeah, I mean yeah, I mean, like pretty much like Jamie, it was funny, like Jamie, share the screenshot, the first one, the first screenshot, what message I sent you, like for those who missed. So what was this guy has posted? G7 TIL. Gojira Genesis was meant to be a learning experience, not a learning experience, but more like how do I put it? It was more like I wanted whitelist easily. All right, let's put it this way. I wanted whitelist easily without grinding, and I was like, and I see so many of them like kind of like burning their, what to say, like other people are also struggling, and how you guys know how grind for littles was. Do you guys remember the grind for divine wolves, or imaginary ones, or even any of those things? One of the worst periods. Like you guys, I don't know if any of the new ones this year, you wouldn't understand what Prime Ape, oh my god, fuck. Prime Ape and this one, Space Apes, was one of the worst mints, worst grinds. It was really worth it though, like a 0.05 mint, and I had like, it gave me like 2 ETH or something. Galleyverse was 40, level 40 and stuff. Oh man, I fudded the shit out of them. No one was talking about Galleyverse in Twitter, and I went and like spoke about Galleyverse, and my tweet blew up. I was like, I literally offered Genesis whitelist spots for a few people in the Discord who got affected by Galleyverse. I'm not even kidding. I think if anyone of you here who won a whitelist because of that reason, let me know, because I made an announcement and I was like, anybody who got fucked hard because of Galleyverse's grind and whitelisted and minted it for a 0.1 ETH profit, I know your feel. Just open up a ticket and show proof. And I was kind of like, this thing. I gave them Genesis whitelist spot, just for those who suffered because of Galleyverse's, grind. So that's how it started. I wanted easy whitelist. I wanted to bring easy whitelist for people. Then it blew up, right? Like it blew up for whatever reason. People who came in, I really appreciate it. I'm happy that real people recognized real people. Even that 15 ETH, we told that it's not. We decided that 2 ETH is not coming to me, or Jamie taking up the 13 ETH. We decided that's going to go completely into funding of Gojira, right? Like doing something more than that, doing something better than that, right? Artwork was done by the community, from the community, even for Gen 2 and stuff. So it's quite a nice journey, and I wouldn't trade anything else for it. And that would say, I don't know if we would be the most funded team, but 100% we are the most humble, and at the same time most like logically thinking, and a most stacked team in terms of IRL experience. Like CFOs are real CFOs, CTOs are real CTOs, and not some randoms who just have the title. So so that's pretty much how it started. And then when it started pumping and stuff, and then we were like, oh, this is bigger than what we imagined. And I mean, I'm pretty sure even Doodles, when they started, they didn't started by thinking that they're going to be like a blue chip with a 10 ETH floor. People loved the art. They kept pumping. They kept getting more money, and they were like, let's do more than what we decided or what we came out for. It's not like Doodles launched an amazing utility or an amazing project. Yes, the art resonated, but would you call it luck or would you call it hard work? It's up to you. It's a thin line between calling something like a Doodles success, a luck or hard work. But after that, after getting the money, what they did is hard work for me. All right, what you do with the opportunity, you cannot be like, oh, they got opportunity, we didn't get opportunities. It's not like that, right? They got an opportunity, but they utilized it well, and they're utilizing it well and they raise more funds and they're coming up with more stuff. But the question is, did they come out with a mission like this a year back? If you listen to the spaces, it's not. They just came and then they're like the community, brought it forward. Similarly with Gojira, the community brought it forward, and me and Jamie were like, man, it's more than what we imagined. Like, we gotta, take full responsibility and we gotta make this count. Then we decided, like, it was a really hard decision even for me to quit my job, and I've been really open about it. I was earning more than $200,000 a year plus bonus from Tesla, so it's not easy for somebody for like me also to quit and come in, like, and our pay was 1.5 ETH, and now it's we raised it to for the core team we are getting paid 5,000 US dollars a month for me, Jamie, and five of us. So before it was 1.5 ETH a month, right? So it was definitely not feasible for us. You know, it's not feasible for us to, like take up the pay what me or Jamie were making, and we have to make a choice. So we have to make a choice about what is important and what is, let's say, like, considered as, how do I put it? Like, what is needed or what we should do as responsible project founders or whatever, right? So yeah, that's how it started. For those of you who are new and those of you who haven't known the story, kind of thing. So it's pretty much like now you make it with MVP drops. Yes, I earned it. I'm happy and I'm proud of it. Without having to shill a project, I got MVP dropped, and I definitely earned it. And any team members who are getting airdrops, they earned what work. What they're doing or this thing, but I've never taken the money back to my exchange or something because I don't need it. It's not like it's going to change my life 100%. But for the time that we are putting in, there are some projects that recognize it. When I got into meme land, there was 100. I will also add this point about my drop. Like, when meme lands this thing, when we were called, they gave us whitelist spots. The team didn't take a single whitelist spot, right? So I would like to add that as well, and I got in as an advisor without knowing that there was going to be an MVP drop as well. So when you keep chasing something, you might not get it. Like, I never expected MVP to do 30 ETH, or I had the conviction to hold it and not sell at 4 ETH or a 5 ETH floor as well. So it's easy to say in a way, like, now that it's amazing you got a 30 ETH airdrop from MVP, but I held it for 30 ETH with whatever conviction or whatever that may be called, for me to like have a to benefit or in a decent way, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I got these fuckers bought it again. Oh man, this M4 motherfuckers legit, like, what
Oh,
the fuck?
Black Bull is asking if he should bot with 100,000 people.
100,000 people?
Yeah.
How would he do it?
Should he do it?
If he can do it, fucking do it, man. Like, fuck that. If it's come to war,
Okay, let's do it.
fuck that. Like, what? I'm not gonna be like, oh guys, we have to be fair. Fuck that. If these motherfuckers are doing this, we never botted our previous polls. Whatever happened before, it was 2,500 and we defeated Sappy Seals. And these guys like add like 15,000 votes in like few minutes. I'm not gonna be like, guys, let's fine, it's okay and stuff. I'm not that type. Like, if it's gonna be a competition and these fuckers are cheating, like, if we have to be better cheaters than them. I'm not saying this in a way where if one person kills, you go and kill the other person, but I hope you guys got what point I was trying to make. Fuck, man, fuck these guys. Like, they just kind of kill the fun element out of it, right? Like, they just don't want it. Ugh. I'm gonna FUD. Kosher was already crying. He was like, man, like, we should have implemented some other method or something. I'm like, yeah, 100%, like, at least for the finals. Is Black Bull actually doing it? What? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You actually doing it?
I think so. He's doing it. He's in Gen 1 chat, and he said, "Yeah, should I do it?" And we said, "Let's do it."
Man, this is so stupid, man. So stupid.
If anyone asks, tell them alien friends did it, not Gojira.
What are they gonna do, bro? Like, there's 28,000 votes. There's not 28,000 active members in NFT space right now, and like everybody knows, like they destroyed the Llama as well in the previous round with M-First, right? They bought the shit out of Llamaverse as well. So, as I said, I'm not. We won fair and square for Sappy. We see how many comments are there. Um,
I mean, it's literally like 15 motherfucker comments and like over 200 Gojira comments.
Exactly. So it's pretty much like so stupid. Like this thing, like it doesn't make any sense for it to like have some kind of a thing like this. So anyways, as I said, I'm not gonna stop anybody from doing it. If you guys, if black, how the fuck do you get 100,000? Like like yep. So I mean, like that's there's how many how much time is left?
I think 30 minutes.
Minutes. Oh shit.
I'm not sure.
I know who's gonna be. It's more than an hour left.
Oh, it's on. Oh, okay. Then it's
Yeah, it's
1
an
hour
hour
left. Yeah.
How do they like? Does anybody know how this botting or something works? I mean, I haven't even looked into it.
Yeah. I thought you pay someone.
100,000 people? Are you kidding me? Zero. I'll take care of that. I'm on DMs with Coco already for another reason, right? So even Henry kind of promised that he's buying a Genesis. So so like Coco should be fine. Coco's really nice, man. He's a really nice guy. He supports a lot of projects and stuff. So he's a pretty good guy, and he throws like 1,000 ETH as if it's nothing. He's on a different level of rich kind of thing. He contributed 1,000 ETH this thing. Yeah, so he kind of like contributed 1,000 ETH for the law thing, like so for the Kongs or whatever. So it's basically like he contributed Coco. I mean, like Coco contributed for it. I hope Coco Beans turns out to be a Coco Bear someday. Like our own Genesis holder Coco Beans, OG guy. If he turns out into hopefully he turns into this thing. Yeah, I mean, kind of like if let's do a natural raid. If you guys can have spend some time, raid this tweet. Be like this, like just to like put whatever you want.
I always thought he's a team member of CyberKongs.
CyberKongs works very differently again. They started a project. They formed something called as the Council. Kong Council. Kong Council consists of I think 7-8 members like Henry, Coco, and Sebs and few others that we are connected with. So they pretty much run the project. Like it's almost like I'm gonna let Black Bull, Tata, and Shoreline and Ham and run the project, and I'm like I'm just sitting in the back kind of thing. So Coco pretty much is like like when you get too rich, right? One of the problems is you would look for like some kind of you get satisfaction by giving away stuff. Like that's the level Coco is in. Because before I used to remember, used to come into Subduck's server and just airdrops $10,000 like it's nothing. Like like what to say, like as tokens or something. He just buys airdrops. People make some 100, 500, 100, 200, $300. It's like a bot where you click, and depending on number of people who click, the amount will be distributed. He randomly does it. And same thing with Kongs. He used to keep doing that. Like that's kind of how people started spending a lot of time inside the server, because you never know. Coco would come in and he's like throwing away 1,000 banana tokens, and banana tokens were $100 at the time. He's a crazy guy, right? Like he used to give away a lot of stuff. So he's not the founder. He's part of the council, but he does so much for Kongs, than like any other people or the founders as such. So the council Council is like a fun this thing where the community it's become a community driven or community run kind of project. By the way, even the dev work of CyberKongs is done by Ox Inu. It's one of the most respected devs in the space, and he's a Kong's Genesis holders as well from the beginning. Right. So so he also helps them with a lot of innovation and dev work. If we have to get the same work done from say Ox Inu, for instance, it's not I'm just saying, like, for example, if we have to get done the same level of work, it'll cost us like probably 60 to 80 ETH at the minimum, because I know I used to connect Oxinu with a few other projects, and I know the code that he gives. He's earned his name, so even for a smart contract, it's like 30 or 35 ETH if I'm not mistaken. So a different beast. Black Bull, did you buy 100,000 oats or something, bro?
In 10 minutes, it will be active, I think.
Bro, fuck, man. This guy did 10K. All right, so this. Maybe they like. Where do you do like? I mean, like, where do you do it? Like, in 10K in 10 minutes. You pay no first 10K, no second yes. Wait, did you get like two 10Ks? Oh man, I'm not gonna do it if it's a payment from any of my cards or my whatever, whatever this thing, this some guys would fund it. As a community, you guys do whatever you want. I'm not gonna stop you guys. It's they have taken that route. I mean, I honestly expected the Wagmi media to be like M first bought it, because Llama had proof that 3,000 oats or 4,000 oats were added in like a minute. I thought they would disqualify or remove them from this, but do that. So because I don't know, it's kind of like weird in the sense like where it could be like the other community sabotaged, like just to if as Gojira, if we go and bought M first and be like, oh, M first bought it, make us win. I think that was his argument there, so I was like, yeah, fine.
But Memeland bought it against us too, right?
Right?
Memeland bought it against us too, then we bought it back because they started the bot.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know who did it or what happened there. But it was crazy. We were eating till like an hour before 60-40, and I'm like, I check and I'm like, fuck, these guys bought it. And then I closed my phone and I went away, and then I'm come back and I'm like, we won. I mean, it's more than anything else, right? It's kind of like it's a good exposure for us when it's posted on I think OpenSea, because OpenSea is kind of like. I mean, GMC made it to the front page of OpenSea, and we never made it to the front page of OpenSea, even in the trending. Now you think about it, right? Like from volume perspective. So it's a very weird kind of a thing, because we're not like a flipper community in that sense where people just keep undercutting each other and stuff like that. So it never happened. So to be in the featured list on the top for a week or so, not in the trending list, but being in the top of the featured list. At least for those fuckers who are just asking what is PG, right? Just for the sake, they can just click once and just read a little bit. At least they, let some people if we can just increase our visibility by even like 5%, I'm happy with that. Any other questions, guys? That was amazing. Tata should come back. Never heard of Gajira, can't find it on OS, and Tata was like, can't find your founder. Bro, I so fucking laughed about it, bro. I couldn't legit control it. Like it was one of the best. The best.
Oh, man, but they were fighting Gojira. Yeah, what is Gojira? What is Gojira? And I was like, fuck you. Who is your fucking founder?
Oh man, the guy made millions and he's out, and the community is still
and still gets passive income.
Exactly, and what is life, bro? Sometimes you think about what the fuck is life. Yep. So guys, if anybody wants to come on the stage, something, just tag me or Jamie. We'll just get you on stage. Usman, what?
Somebody
Yeah, sure.
posted the fake DMCA claim against Gojira.
Now?
Do you remember the fake DMCA, the letter?
This
Who
is
made this, man?
this is a me, bro. I can't believe people don't know about us, but we got one of the highest haters. I'm like, God.
Yo,
Matt,
Sean, can you hear me?
yes, I can.
Yo,
Is your
this has been a fun night.
Yep, it is, and I finally see that you got your Gen 2.
Yes, definitely. It was easy.
Welcome back. I mean, not welcome back. Welcome to the gang.
Thank you.
Posty is,
Yeah, the lair is roaring tonight.
yeah, Posty is pretty much. I'll tell you one thing, right? Posty is like the right man to Voltura from Psychedelic Anonymous. Not even joking, right? He pretty much has. I mean, you should see his convincing skills, IRL kind of thing. You can call him a different kind of a pyramid schemer, but he's brought in, if I'm not mistaken, at least like 50 to 60 people into the PA ecosystem from Australia. Like that's like the minimum number. Was a super big advocate of PA till he met me, and then things changed. Then now, it's pretty much he's gonna be kind of like working on the IRL side for Gojira and all the meetups and stuff. He's the reason why one of the reasons why the Spaces today was also on 3,300 people kind of like tuned in. So yeah, I mean, really happy for you to come in as a holder. Next stop is Genesis. Obviously, I know you have that's your target.
Yeah, look, I will get there eventually, but I look, as long as I can help with IRL and the other shit, that's what matters. Like, I can only focus my energy on so many things. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Of course, man, and yeah, I think that's pretty much the aim for us as well because I cannot be going to a lot of these events. There's so much of opportunity, guys. Like the kind of people you meet is crazy. Like in some of the events and stuff, and it's a shame if we miss it. And we definitely need like almost like IRL brand managers across the globe, to be honest, to go for these events. If there's tickets or something, we can obviously sponsor. Reach out to me or Jamie or somebody like if there's a cool event coming up in your city and you want to represent Gojira there and kind of like just network, we can definitely fund. Yes, sure, Rinsler can come up as well. New Gojira holder. Let's bring up another.
I do have some questions for anyone in Gojira. I am thinking of going to Art Basel. Any advice from anyone in Gojira, / anything I should be thinking about doing, or is it worth it? Question mark. I'm
Which one,
thinking it will be. Art Basel
Yeah.
in Miami.
Yeah, how big of an art fan are you? I mean, like it's this like the biggest event, honestly. In like I've always wanted to go to it, and I've been a huge art collector before. I went to come to NFTs. I was like a huge street art collector, and like a lot of the artists that I collect and are on the walls of my house, they're there, and everyone's doing like installations. There's like parties. It's become way bigger, and there is a presence from Web3. The people over at Artie's Art Club, they're going down there, and they were like asking me if I was going down there. We could get you connected with some people for sure.
Yeah,
I think
dude,
it's worth it.
Yeah, I definitely think it's worth it, especially so. As Shan said, I'm kind of heading up the Australian scene in terms of connecting that shit. So if you guys need connections in Australia, let me know. And I will get you guys in contact with people you need. But yeah, I definitely think it's worth it for me. And art, I enjoy. And yeah, there's few artists who I definitely want to see their shit.
Well, it's like people are like creating art like before your eyes. Like they whitewash walls, and they have like big
Holy
artists that are
shit.
like legendary. Well, honestly, the one you got to go to is Powwow. If you've ever heard about that, the guy that actually did oh shit, FOMO Mofos. The guy that
Oh,
did
yeah,
that
yeah.
project, that guy does a thing called powwow, and what they do, like they started out in Hawaii, they do it in a lot of countries, but what they do is they go to the country, the city or wherever, and they whitewash walls, and then he like taps into his entire network, and people from like literally all over the world fly in or just have like man lifts everywhere, and people are just up on lifts, and you just walk around the city and watch people like make art, and like talking about like Dali's like fucking huge artists, like it's incredible.
I think as I
Definitely
said,
sounds
like
worth it.
any of you guys as such, like from from just reach out to us if we feel the event is useful. We definitely can kind of like sponsor the tickets or like something that's related, because it's not
All right,
easy
Shan,
for
we'll
us to.
talk.
Hey, sorry.
No, I was just joking. I was saying I want to go.
What do you have, man? You're like fucking like, I don't even need to tell you, like it's like you're gonna go either ways. You're the guy with the lizard inside, right? So you're gonna either ways go in.
Yeah. Look at this We Go Crypto meme he's posts everywhere for me. This picture that's my face in the chat.
Oh, bro, I know
Is that your
I've seen that.
face?
That's me.
Oh my god, that is such a meme.
Posty and
Shilling
Zero, you
zero.
guys got a host. You both got a host at Twitter Spaces. Zero is like pretty much our the
Yeah,
spaces
definitely.
man, like and Posty is another spaces man for PA. Like he spends like fucking hours on this thing. So now he's gonna be joining you with like some PG spaces. I'll also jump in, but you both, I
And you
would really
know,
like just about Web3 in general. Not don't have to shill and shit, but at least about
Yeah.
Web3 in general, and just for you guys to just get on spaces.
Fucking love
Yeah.
it. Makes me happy.
I will add you, Zero, and I think we
Alrighty.
can definitely make some shit happen.
Hell yeah. I added you already, sir.
Oh, easy.
Yo,
We shall
yo,
chat. Yo.
what's going on, guys?
How
Who's
goes
this?
it?
I'm trying to find who this is before I answer.
It's Rinsler.
Rinsler. Hey man,
Yo, what's up,
welcome.
man?
Oh,
Thanks,
how-
man. Excited to be here, man. I've
Did you
been,
buy like right now? Like during the spaces or
Sorry?
something? I mean, did you buy like right now or something?
yeah, I got in recently.
Okay.
So,
Good.
yeah, man. I'm really excited to be a part of the family, a part of the project. Yeah, I heard about Gojira sort of pretty early on, and I had a few friends sort of get in a little bit early. Yeah, bro. I'm honestly, we've met in real life as well, and just stoked to hear the vision. Yeah,
Wait,
I'm from
wait,
Melbourne
are
too.
you based in Melbourne or what?
Yeah, but I'm based in Melbourne.
Shit. And like I
Oh
think,
shit! Yeah, where in Melbourne are you?
oh, he's gonna come right away, bro. He's gonna
Yeah, I'll
come
come.
right away.
Here, I'm calling an Uber right now.
Post chill, bro. It's okay. I don't really want to like dox myself too much, to be honest.
Nah, fair. No, all good, dude.
Nah, Pat, we like each other. Shan, we like each other. I met some of the other teams, but yeah, bro, just so excited to be part of this project, and I get a lot of ideas that come to me, and just I just love getting around the team and stuff. So
Of course, man.
yeah,
Wait, you bought a Genesis, not a Gen 2, is it?
yeah, fucking oath, bro. Genesis, man, like
Oh shit! No fucking way! Like that's what I was like. Wait, I don't see the color was different. I was like, shit, man. Like that's crazy. Now,
yeah,
like
man. Like I'm honestly sorry.
when did you get it? Like I haven't been. I kind of keep track of the Genesis. Kind of like people coming in. I kind of missed it.
I gotta just say, man, actually. So
All right, perfect,
yeah,
man.
man.
Thanks
Like
a lot.
I've been, man. It's okay. Yeah, bro. I've been like watching the floor like a hawk for a while now, and I just, yeah, man, just seize the moment, seize the opportunity. It's like, bam,
Perfect.
I really believe in you, the team, and you know what? Still like very young. You know what I mean? We haven't been here for a while, and yeah, so just so excited to
Anytime,
be
bro.
here,
Like
man.
anytime. We pretty much like in Twitter, especially. I kind of like answer to DMs like as soon as possible if you got any questions. And every week we have this, like this space, like an AMA town hall kind of thing with the founders. Every day also we have events. So after today, Zero would update. There will be one or other topics, like it could be anything from finance or like mental health or whatever that you find suitable. Like just jump in. I'm not a super big advocate of like grinding too much in Discord and stuff. Like I kind of like want to have to promote like a lifestyle, like a balance kind of thing. So obviously like for you to kind of like jump in on on the weekend or something if you can, or any of the spaces that we might organize. I'm more than happy to kind of have like guide you. And Genesis chat is pretty friendly and pretty helpful as well, like in the sense where this it's pretty much like much more active than Gen 2 at this stage. I mean, I really have been trying to get active in the Discord to kind of like even pump up the Gen 2's chats and stuff, but haven't been having the time. But Genesis is pretty much like pops off by itself at this stage. It's not that we do not we do not like focus on other things, but I really want to spend like at least like few like at least like 30 minutes to an hour a day in each of the chats, kind of like going through issues with members and stuff like that. It's been like, I really wish you can clone each of us. It's kind of hard. Yeah, but thanks a lot for the trust, and I'm hoping to see you again soon in a meetup, because this, you don't have to docs, but if you're keen, this Friday or Saturday we might be having like a Melbourne Web3 meetup, because today the spaces was crazy. It popped off so hard. Like 3,000 people plus tuned up, and like kind of like a lot of them are super excited. So we kind of like, I made this thing on the spaces, and like a lot of people DM'd, so they just want to kind of have like a simple meetup on Friday or Saturday, kind of like a networking event. So I'll be posting on my Twitter, like if you just can keep track, if you want to come in, he'll be posting a form. So he's the guy who pretty much kind of like organizes and stuff, these kind of things. So he'll be putting up a form, and if you're interested, you can just fill it, and I'll take care from there.
Yeah, man. Down for anything, man. Excited to be part of it. Play a big part as well with like the in real life stuff at Melbourne too, which is really, really cool. I think we've got something really special here in Melbourne, and I think, show it to the rest of the world.
Hopefully someday, all Gojira holders make some enough, I don't want to use the word, but passive income for them to sell that to fly to Melbourne. That'll be the dream, legit. Let's see how things play out. But Melbourne is, I think it's an amazing spot. And I think it's growing. Our community here is growing. And honestly, I don't know, Rinsler, but before, did you even know that PG was kind of like based off Melbourne, like a while back or something, or seem to know that?
It didn't. I didn't like really know it was actually from Melbourne or Australia. My friends actually got into it. They were like e-commerce guys and ex-poker professionals from the States, and I'm in like a Discord with people, and they picked it up, and I don't know what I was looking at, man. Like, we would have been looking at other stuff, man. You know how crazy that bull market was. Like, mate, I was minting Martians, I was minting Funks, I was minting bro anything, like, so trying to mint shit, bro. And then Gojira ripped hard quick, so it was really good to see that. But yeah, like, man, I was really blown away when I was like realized it was like an Australian project and like a Melbourne project, and then like, oh, like, dude, like Shan's coming. Like, oh, like, who's Shan? Like, oh, like, he's the founder of Gojira. I'm like, oh, for real?
Dude, this is the same story I had, like, fuck's sake.
Honestly, like, we didn't market it that way, because like our team is pretty multi-national in the sense where out of the 9 core team members, 4 are based in Australia now, right? Like, that's myself, Sack Attacking, our CFO in Melbourne, and then George, that's G from Sydney, is one of the OGs as well, and then also Josh from this thing, Brisbane. So 4 out of the 9 core team members are from Australia as such, but there's people all over the world. Like, there's a guy from Norway, Mongolia, Canada, US. Zero Cool is from the US. There's guys from Hong Kong as well, like that's Pino. So like, it's a multi, like a multi time zone or a multinational this thing. So we never pushed it that way. And Aussie crowd was not receptive at that time. Like, it was kind of dead, a lot of events. So we were focusing more on the Asia side kind of thing to an extent, a little bit to the US as well. But till this date, I don't think, this is what makes us more, I would say, if someone asks what's going to make Gojira more valuable, right? One of the things is we are still like not a very well-known project in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, in a sense where, which gives us the potential to grow even more. Like, there's so many people who do not know. They know Doodles, they know Artifact. Knowing about a project and not buying versus not knowing about a project like as much gives more opportunity, in my opinion, for us to kind of convert or get more people to know about us. You know what I mean? Like everyone knows about Basi and not able to buy Basi or not buying Basi. It's almost like 100% of the NFT crowd knows about Basi, and they either decide not to buy or they don't have the money to buy. But say maybe like 20% knows about Gojira, for instance. There's still 80% of the market that's untapped, and then there's this whole lot of crypto community and whole lot of IRL, like during IRL activations. So that's what's kind of like exciting for me, that that we can penetrate more into different markets, and then there's US, there's UK, there's South America, there's even bigger spots. So yeah, I mean, glad to have you in, and thanks a lot. Any questions anytime, DM me, and Posty as well. I think I don't know if you have met him as well. He's probably come to all our meetups. So if you have met him as well, he's kind of like a machine who's awake almost always. Like you can DM him in Twitter. Like any of you guys, actually, if you want anything about Web3, if you guys want to have a chat, I'm kind of shilling Posty because I really like this guy's energy and kind of like enthusiasm. I would say similar to our own Zero Cool, in the Aussie version of Zero, I would say, so. So yeah. Anyways,
Shan,
thanks.
thank you. You didn't have to do that.
I mean, I know you.
And that's the biggest compliment you can get, like compared to me. Come on now.
Exactly. Zero is the fucking advisor of DJ9, who fucking raised 1,000 fucking ETH by selling 250 items, which is the total that it's more than the total that we have raised across 3 collections in 10 months. So, and who's the advisor? Zero and Hustler, 2 Genesis
hey.
holders. I'm like, guys, come on, right? We raised a total of fucking 800 ETH, and yesterday DJ9 raised about close to 1,000 ETH from just selling 250 NFTs.
Holy shit. That's not bad.
Fucking crazy, man. No, but they deserve it. I also participated in the mint. I normally don't
Yeah.
participate. They are one team that knows what they're doing, I believe, at least in the gaming side and stuff. And Milan, and even it was a really nice gesture. They kind of instead of taking everything what they got, they kind of capped it at 2.5 ETH instead of 3.6. That's what the final bid price was. They refunded even the extra 1.5 ETH, and instead of 1 free mint, they made it like 3 free mints. I'm pretty sure that's learned from Gojira Genesis, where we made from 1 free mint to 3 drops. Zero, I'm sure you or Hustler might have told that. But
Yeah, you
I'm
set an
taking
example in the space. Learn
I'm
from the
taking
best.
But either ways, you know what Genesis did? Fucking dumped the Gen 2 floor. When it was increased from 1 to 3, it was dumped by the Genesis holders in the start. So got to be careful as well, because people see that as a passive income side of things. They've been in a they're holding an asset that they feel they can't kind of fractionalize. So when something is airdropped, it's a tendency to go and dump it. So 3 free mints. That's where DGNAM has got to be careful. So, but it shows the quality of the team. That's what I see.
Well, just like Gojira, we care about the space, and we're more about bringing good vibes than to just cash in. You guys, we set an example here about not being greedy, and I think that's something that is very lost in this space. It's like a lot of people come in here just thinking about making money, and we're here to actually do what Web3 is supposed to be, and that's what's really fucking important. And that's the only reason why I work on that team, and that's why I bleed Jira, and that's why if one day I got my chest cut open, a pixelated lizard would come out of my body and would girar all fucking day.
Next time I meet you, I'm gonna cut you off. Actually, fuck that.
And then green blood's gonna come out of me, just lizard blood. You're like, what the fuck? I'll shed my human's exoskeleton.
You know what will happen? Kaijus will start claiming it's their blood. It's like Kaijus. It belongs to Kaijus. Jira is a copycat. Anyways, anybody else wants to get on stage? And anything else in general, general topics.
Hey Sean, I just got a question, mate.
Yes.
What's the go with the Gojiras that have sort of been reported for suspicious activity? Because I've been looking for maybe a couple weeks or maybe a month to enter into Gojira, and I just been very concerned, and I didn't select anyone reported to a suspicious activity as well, just in case. And I was just very
Oh,
curious
God.
about that. If there's
Yeah, I
any
mean,
like
OpenSea made an announcement or statement that they would remove the suspicious thing when you report to them, that you bought it, and then the counterparty has to put in a police complaint within a week or something, and they have to submit the report. If they don't do that, the suspicious thing would be removed. It's kind of super annoying though, because what can you do? You don't know. Like suddenly, I can report tomorrow that it's been stolen. Just it seems like a transfer, but it can be like, oh, my wallet was hacked, I didn't buy this Genesis, or I didn't sell this Genesis, someone else listed and it went away. OpenSea is flawed in so many ways, but this police complaint thing, I think is kind of like decent in a way, because not many are going to go and lodge a complaint, and they know they can't do shit. In a way, right? What can you do, right? A person who kind of let's say a person who essentially hacked, he sold it to another person. So what can you do? It's not your fault. So the one what you bought, is it reported?
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, right, all right.
Yeah, I just don't take any chances like that. Like just in case, maybe it wasn't like recognized or something like that. Were there any NFTs that maybe like were reported or something like that, like maybe
Of course,
aren't
there's a guy right here.
recognized within the project?
No. There's nothing that's not recognized. We do not we do not we do not change the value of it by in any way. And I'm even thinking possibly, I don't know if I should again do this, but I'm happy to swap even my Genesis or any other Genesis from the vault for a suspicious one. If anyone is looking to buy the floor, if they are just scared of that, because I do not give a damn about the suspicious thing. That's stupid. Me, what OpenSea is doing. So if anyone's looking to buy that floor one, that's kind of suspicious activity or something, and who's hearing here, I'm happy to kind of
What's the price?
I don't know. Honestly, I haven't even been looking at the floor at all. It kind of stretches me out, so I stopped looking at the floor.
Let me take a
Floor
look.
doesn't matter. Floor doesn't matter at all. Like I saw a few maybe 6.7, but like it's just all relative on the view. Like if someone's looking to buy in, like 6.7 is a great price, especially to where it was during the bull run. Like it is so exciting, and comparatively, it's just such I feel like a great entry. And this is something that I don't think I would never intend to sell this. This is a long-term hold, and love to become a valuable member of the community and help just learn and build cool shit with you, man. So yeah,
that's the kind of I'm really proud and this thing to have hold this common at this stage. But yeah, I think the thing is, right, if any of you guys, as I said, if you have some kind of except for Purple Fire, he wantedly went and bought it 4 days back. I'm not gonna swap it for you, bro, anyways, because I don't want you to sell it, so I'm not gonna swap it for you just for that. But I mean, jokes apart, so this guy actually is a mod. Is a mod. So 4 days back, I think he bought a Genesis that kind of has got this report. He knew it, but then he was like, "Yeah, fuck it." It was really cheap. I think it was 5.75 or something because it was reported. So he was like, he kind of gotten. So any of you, if you kind of as I said, if you're in the space and I'm just I don't want to make a public announcement about it, but if you buy something from the floor that's kind of reported, I can swap it with the normal one from the vault, from the PG vault or something, right? The fractionalized vault, I mean. And or even my personal thing, it's something we can work out. So not a problem in that sense, because you can't. It's kind of stupid. You don't know as a buyer. It's not your fault that the hacker dumped it on you. And Rap Teeth offers prevent this from from this kind of a thing happening. Immediately the hacker can dump it because there's a Rap Teeth offer. So what can you do? So yeah, I think it's not. I'm pretty sure OpenSea is going to come back with some other solution for this. Right? This is the Aussie DJ Nahar, hours 2:30 AM. There's kind of few people still. Is Abs here as well, or is he gone? No, I don't think he's here.
I don't know if you've seen Shan, but Artie Imukati is is open sourcing our template to the UK movement. As in, what do you call it? What we were doing for Australia to do it in UK. Shan, fuck off, or
Hello.
question mark?
Don't know
Hello?
what.
And
What is it?
Oh, I was saying, you know the influencer Artie McCarty? Or I don't know what her
Hey,
name
I
is
know.
exactly.
I heard it.
yeah,
Yeah. She was the tweets. Holy shit! It's almost word for word funny.
Yeah. That's why I said imitation is the best form of flattery, and
Yeah,
this market is as good as dead. That's like super dead. So you need some kind of catalyst, or at least a community aspect, because people who are staying now without being stressed, and who are just buying in now and kind of like chilling, they understand, they saw the capitulation and then they're buying in. When people like Rinsler, who's getting in now, he's buying in when ETH has crashed, and then NFTs have also like come down by 60, 50 or 70% or whatever. It's who are staying at this stage. We don't know whether the market's going to flip in 6 months or 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. No one knows, right? But one thing I know for sure is nothing keeps going down and nothing keeps going up. There has to be a bottom. Like when you think that this is never gonna go up, that's when things go up. And when you think that this is never gonna go down, that's when things crash. This is something you would learn it with experience, I would say. I've seen my portfolio go from multiple seven-figure this thing and to a high seven-figure this thing, to drop down to almost nothing, and then still hold it through the market, through the bear market, then start DCAing in 2020, 2021. So it's not an easy thing, but at the time I was like, can't be bothered. I got into a job. I was finishing my graduation. I was graduating from Monash in Melbourne, was studying mechanical engineering, and then I got my job in Tesla. I was focusing there, so I didn't have a much time to think about the portfolio. And as I said, I live a very simple life. I'm like 25. I kind of go out. I kind of like have I like to have some nice meal and stuff, but I don't like to spend on crazy shit. And I would see if any of those, anything that I buy, depreciating asset or an appreciating asset kind of thing. So I don't like to focus on.
Zondagmiddag hebben we zeg maar, dat is
Pretty much I don't
oh,
waste money on shit, so it didn't make a difference for me when things went down. So I was just observing, focusing on work. 25 gang. I think I'm 26 actually. I'm 96, so yeah, I'm 26.
you think?
Just
you think?
I'm
Oh my god, I'm concerned.
I'm like awake for like hours, man. Come on, the fucking shit. When what time I sleep and shit. I've spoken to you guys till like 7 or 8 in the morning as well. Fuck off.
Yeah, okay, you are right. In that sense, you are cooked.
Bro,
It's a robot designed by Tesla.
Legit. He's like some AI.
Yeah, nah, I don't think it's not sustainable long term, but I need this next month or so is crucial for us. We as a team, we gotta stay and do shit. We gotta get stuff done. So sleep's been like 11:30, and waking up at like 3, 4 p.m. kind of thing. Jamie the same, because I can vouch for Jamie because we both kind of get on meetings and stuff together. It's kind of like fucks up your health in a way. And as I said, I'm sometimes it can be a little bit irritable, in the sense. But overall, I think Jira community has been like super supportive and understanding, not like causing so much of FUD and stuff. Because when money is involved and things go down, right? Your emotions wouldn't be in your control. You'll start, kind of like putting it on like pressure on one team, or it's a very psychologically it's a very common thing. And these are the things I talk with even Josh. Josh is part of our team, and he's a PhD in psychology from Brisbane, and he's kind of like researching into like business related psychology and stuff. And I bring this point up, man, like what do I do? How do I handle this? We are doing our best, and then like people coming in like kind of like pressurizing. How do we handle it? I mean, like I'm trying not to react, but then sometimes I'm human as well. I kind of tend to react. But I don't know how to tackle it because how do I show it? Is if there's a live cam here up in my house and you guys see like the hours of the time that we put in, brainstorming and like for development and stuff, would see the amount of effort that's going in. So how do I keep conveying this? I don't like to keep tweeting about it that I work for this many hours and stuff. I even spoke to Lama about it because yesterday we had this chat and Lama's like, bro, if I don't tweet, my head would burst, right? And I was like, bro, I'm kind of on the same page, like because I just asked, like we were just talking about it, bro. You kind of like tweet a lot about this work hours and stuff, and he's like, bro, I don't have a social life as such, and my social life is my Twitter and my Discord, and this is where I kind of have to come and post about it, right? Because as people, like I'm not saying that every single project and every single founder who's putting in the hours is going to be successful. The point is that they're doing their best. That's it, right? As a human, you can only do your best, and the rest is not in your hands, right? In a sense, like for example, if you realize my IQ is only like 60, for instance, right? Someday you're realizing that's my IQ level, right? And this you're realizing after a while, and you're like, shit, man, I've trusted this guy, and this is his IQ. He's so dumb. He can't like get stuff done. What can I do for that? That's my max. But the question is, did I put my best even with a 60 IQ or not? This is the policy that I apply for everything in my life. That I would give my best, and the rest is not in my direct control. Like if you know what I mean. Same thing for you guys. Like it's not like you have to go and like blame yourself if things exactly don't go your way for certain things. As long as you know that you have given your best instead of sleeping around and you're like, oh man, like I wasted so much time, I could have done better. If you feel that you could have done better, then that's fine. I mean, that's not fine, right? But you feel like I gave my best. Okay, this product was not accepted by the market, or this effort was not recognized by people in general. What can you do? Like you can maybe sit and like maybe reanalyze your strategies, but you're not coming up with anything. Then you're going to ask for help around from people and all those things, and still despite all that you cannot come up with a conclusion. That's your max limits. Like you can't just break your head for like if that's your capacity or that's your thing. So what my point is, certain founders at least I know and I can vouch for in a way where they put in those hours to try and change and do something in life. And some of them like do it better than the others. Some of them are lucky, like they don't have to do anything, but then things just fall in place. But at the end of the day, like if you believe that your team is putting in those efforts and not just like kind of taking up too much of the funds or too much of their money, I would invest in that team. That's it. How's the poll going on? I'm like,
That is a good question. Has anyone got an update for us?
This is getting close to 50-50.
Oh,
What
that's
about the
some
engagement
bullshit.
farm?
It's 51 for us.
Blackpool, can you like send me your bots so then we can like double the amount of bots?
yeah, man, don't leave us to the last minute, man. These fuckers are gonna fucking like bought it in the last minute. Which website do you use, man? Like, if you can share with us. next, next polls, it might be useful.
Hey, what's the result of winning the poll? Like, is there
One
like
is just
a prize?
yeah, it's not like a money kind of thing. OpenSea, it started as a joke kind of thing, right? When Wagme, those medias they put in, but now OpenSea is pretty much like made a statement or comment that the winner of the poll is pretty much going to be featured in their page for like for features normally last for a week, so you'll be like pretty much like in the featured column of OpenSea for like a week or something.
Do you think they will do it? I doubt that with the bots and so.
They commented, and I don't think they're gonna go and check the bots and stuff. They gotta keep
Don't
up
give
their
a
word.
fuck.
Right?
They just want engagement farming, man. These fucking polls, man, try to be fucking crazy.
Yeah, I know. I don't
Backbeat my
normally-
ass.
Technically, right? I don't even retweet even the previous post. I think there's one maybe I retweeted or something, but I didn't even look into it. Tata has pretty much been running. He kind of updates me when the tweets are out, and then he conducts this natural raid with some whitelist spots and stuff. It's pretty much in it, like, from our end. But the community by themselves were like kind of, they were carrying us. They pretty much community by themselves carried us through, or I don't know, maybe even Tata kind of like brought in, those things. But Tata played a big part, I would say. Kind of like raiding the tweets and stuff. So one thing is just like, I don't take it too super seriously. It's like one thing is about the fun thing, like, it means nothing, but then it means something because people are frustrated. Like 9gag CEO is like, oh, I don't care about it, but then he had to make a tweet about it. Lama is like, oh, I don't care about it, but then he had to comment like fucking motherfuckers, like they bought it. Same thing with me. I told that I don't care about it, but still I made a tweet that fuckers botting this shit. So as much as you say that you don't care about it, but as part of the community, you have this thing where, fuck, man, we just want to win it. It's nothing maybe, but you just feel like, when there's eyes and attention. And this is probably the only poll in my understanding or my belief that's kind of gained this much of traction, I would say. Like others are there, like, just like dumb fucking polls that happens regularly. But I feel like this one kind of gained a pretty decent traction. Like Greg also commented yesterday. Greg is pretty much like a big, kind of like a pretty decently sized influencer as well. There's a lot of influencers commenting in it. So, so I personally think, yeah, this particular poll had some attention, like,
Shan, you know what we could make, right? Is a decentralized way to like improve the botting. So like a way to like earn.
You can create multiple wallets, and once you own something, you can transfer the NFT to another wallet. And I don't know, like, and there's bots for minting. There's minting bots where you can set up like 500 wallets and they mint for you, or participate in auto mint. So it's like there's smart people out there who keep finding solutions for everything. Like look at this Twitter botting, man. Like what the fuck? I just found out a website. It's called like Social Boss, and I see here, oh my god, like legit, like look at the cost, man. Like for
I know the cost, like it's just a Twitter poll, like fucking hell. Like God,
no, it's cheap. It's super cheap. You know how much it is? 1,000 Twitter oats is for $8, and 10,000 oats is for $80. 10,000 oats for $80, and they allow you to pay in crypto as well. So imagine like $80 is nothing for people, like, to buy like 10,000
and people
oats.
could get rewarded with NFTs.
Yeah, this is like kind of like really. I think the poll thing is kind of like stupid. Oh, half of oats are me. What the fuck you talking about?
Well, every time someone donates, you give them tokens. Oh my.
Yeah. So this is what OpenSea's post was. I think who wins first place overall gets featured on the homepage kind of thing. Yeah. Right. Anybody else board wants to come up? Black Bull is 7,500 oats. Still haven't hit. Should hit before 30 minutes.
This is some stupid shit at this point.
Any other team members? Amy, Amrish, have they even there or they left? Man, everybody left me.
I didn't leave you. I'd never do that to you, Shan.
They read you.
Jamie's here. Okay, right. Oh no, Ruben is also here. RNA is here. Okay, right. Any of you guys want to get on stage? Jamie, I've been like talking too much.
I'm just working.
This guy, I mean, like this guy, I think I work more and I see this guy and I'm like, fuck this guy, man. Like Ruben is like a monster, and I'm like, I told him that I'm taking Saturday evenings off. Like this was a funny story, right? Like 2 weeks back, right? And he was like, "You're taking Saturdays off?" Like, bro, Saturday evenings off. Like, I didn't know that we had to work. I'm like, bro, I never told you that. This just happened like 3 weeks back, and I'm like, Oh man, this guy. And even when we met him in the trip, like during Southeast Asia, that's the first time we meet. Everybody in the team was like, "Bro, this guy's too serious." Then when he gets drunk, he gets like super like chill and calm and stuff. So it was really yeah, really a different kind of a workaholic mentality.
Yeah, when you're drinking, then you need to drink. So
Exactly. It was funny, man. I kind of miss those events. Like it was such a good time. Right?
yeah, there are some stories, G, huh?
G awake and still here? Like
Yeah, there's some stories from those trips.
Yeah, G, come on, come on. We need some stories.
What happens in La Favela stays in La Favela, right? G.
Correct.
Yeah, this guy rugs me IRL.
bro, this picture here, right? This picture.
Oh,
let's
yeah,
just have look at the
Yeah,
picture
so-
here. This picture was taken in Singapore in a hot pot. Ruben was super drunk and he was still giving lessons when he was super drunk.
And see how they focused they are. This was 5 in the morning at some hot pot.
That was so much fun. We had like 4 tables at that place too.
Oh my god.
That was when Sab was eating food out of the hot pot with his glasses.
Sav doesn't even have his eyes open right there.
Actually, and he was successful at it as well. He used his glasses to get food out of the hodge pot, and he actually managed to do it.
Oh man, I was putting a plastic cup in the hot pot, like to cook it or something to heat up like a mushroom burger that Amresh's girlfriend, she bought. Like I'm kind of like predominantly vegetarian. I kind of eat just chicken, but the hot pot had like all kind of pig's brain and stuff. So I was trying to heat up this mushroom burger, which was in a plastic cup, and I kind of put that in the fucking hot pot. Like I was like,
Just behind it, put it in.
This is kind of
Consolence by Daniel from what's that project called?
That
again?
was a different kind of a thing, man. I kind of broke down talking about Gojira. I was like, bro, like I mean, that was entirely a different thing. That I want to think about it. So. Yeah, the Roborovsky guy. Yeah, that's right. Fuck.
Shan, remember the pig head in Manila?
Oh. Tata is a Muslim. Tata is a Muslim, and in front of the table they kept a big fucking pig's head, and yeah. So yeah, big fucking like pig's head, right? So
teeth,
like,
everything. Yeah.
Teeth and everything, and he's like, bro, that's the most haram thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
Haram.
Which is a lie.
Yeah, after that night, it's even more haram. But that's pretty much I leave it there. Man, that was really good. Like as a team, this is the first time as a team any of us were meeting each other. So it was like, was an amazing thing. Like you've been working with people, and this was during the breakfast. Fucking like, oh man, like people thought we enjoyed in Bali. Bali was like especially for me and Jamie, it was so stressful, man. Like it was still so much of shit going on, and me and Jamie were like super stressed, and these guys, Ruben and all of them were also like, they were like, okay, Shan, chill and stuff, and all those. It was really like we didn't go anywhere in Bali as such, like a sightseeing or something. We are purely in our place, kind of like finalizing some mint details and stuff. Probably the first team that went to Bali and didn't like even go to the beach. At least I'm pretty sure none of us went to the beach or anything. Yeah. It was such a such a
Atlas.
different. Atlas was after the mint, right?
I know. That place is fucking insanity. What the fuck is that place?
It's the biggest beach club I've ever seen in my life.
It fucking blew my mind.
It's like a village. Like a whole village is just one nightclub.
It's insane.
And the night in Bali when we went clubbing and Zero Cool hit the dance floor, and
that's the Atlas, right?
No, that's La Favela.
Yeah, La Favela. That was Gajira's club. Like we dominated that place.
That's the craziest thing. I was standing there talking to someone, and I just saw people were like en masse flocking to one place in the nightclub. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then I just see in the middle of the circle, Zero's just ripping it up.
Yeah,
because-
who all missed that amazing stuff? It was me, Jamie, and Pino. Was it? We three didn't make it to that amazing. That
Oh,
Zero-
whenever the next meetup is, it's fucking going down.
Now I mean, like next meetup is gonna be when we make another $1 million in external revenue. You know, that's the target. Walt our entire treasury reads like $1 million, and then we throw a kind of like, I think we need to go to the US. I think US or Europe, like for the holder side of things. I mean,
LA
US,
or New York.
I think LA or New York. I'm sure because it's a lot more sense. I think Asia is getting a lot of events. Europe actually is kind of sad, man. Like this, I rarely see like events or something in.
Hey.
I mean, it's in the sense like we gotta like it's really not many are happening. Like US and Asia gets the highest. To be honest, US and Asia gets the highest. To be honest, so
We can go to UK and visit Vab.
that's why he's turned his engagement farming towards Australia now, because Australia has got like better engagement than Europe at this stage.
Ibiza, huh?
Oh, Black Bull, where the fuck is the poll, man? I'm fucking like so. It's not letting me, like, I'm restless now. It's like 18 minutes left. They're like 51.1. The bots. Is a bot, man.
Hey guys, I just want to say that I'm out. It was really fun hanging out with everyone in the space. Looking forward to the future of Gojira. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on board. Good to have
3
you.
a.m., man. So like, I think it's understandable.
Yeah, go sleep.
Lisa. How are you doing? We are doing a launch party on 22nd October in Ibiza. We'd like to invite you, hotel, restaurant, VIP tables. I'm happy to have you and your friends. What about flights?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That was gonna be my retort. It's like, yeah, sure about flights though, huh?
Yeah, what Ibiza is in Spain, right? Fuck, I haven't been to Spain.
Munich, Ibiza is like $100.
Right?
It's
Oh,
like
the
$100
flights.
for me, yeah, from Germany.
Yeah.
We'll send Tata.
Okay,
We know that we
perfect.
can get paid if we sell him.
Oh no, I'm not going.
I mean, it's hard in Spanish. He's more wanted in Asia and other countries than, but Europe he's like 1 in million.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
know.
one in like 10 or
Fuck
something.
you.
Asia is like the fucking like showcase.
I'm everywhere very valuable.
Filipinos, I think, yeah, for sure. Like, we could sell him. That's the Jira usually, right? You sell, this guy for some Jiras, for every per day rental. I'm not even joking. The Filipinos wanted to auction off, Tata in Philippines, like in Manila.
Stop the violation.
Is any of the Filipinos here like MDLB? I think. Like,
I'm not for sale.
accept 10% commission. Manila is pretty good. I loved Manila. It was one of the best hospitality that we received, and it's a pretty good place. I'm kind of like sticking around till like this thing. What is it? The poll is done. It's like 15 minutes. If anyone.
Yo, Shan. Do you want to do a podcast potentially this week?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. With Bread Brothers.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'll get you the date. I'll DM you.
Yep, and by the way, Greg also contacted. We have scheduled a call this week, so NFT Fest Oz, so it should be good. I think NFT Fest Oz, I'm expecting like 2,000 people to come in, so I think like being a speaker there, if we can make use of that opportunity, I think it can be pretty good.
Yeah, and I potentially am also going to be a speaker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, right? I think any event should also have some people from the community, kind of like Web3 advocates, to come in and also speak their mind or their perspective. And that'll be perfect. So you're going to rep your Gen 2 as your PFP there when you're there, right? I'm gonna get you a PG shirt. Like, you can't say no now. You don't have P anymore.
I'll wear the shirt, but I'm sorry. I am repping the punk, even though it's fractionalized. I'm sorry, but the punk is still. I'm sorry. That's
So
just.
what? I'm gonna convince that Frankenpunk's guys to kind of like liquidate their vault. Fucking punk is
I know they're not gonna listen to you over me.
Ooh, Frankenpunks. Dude, do you know that the founder of Frankenpunks has been in my DMs almost like every week asking for some kind of like
Oh, I know. Yeah.
If I say I'm gonna sweep for 2 ETH, he's probably gonna be like, okay, I'll sell that punk. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
man,
not if Yeah, no, I know.
What we getting live preview of in AMA?
Bro, stop bragging.
Like we are done. I think it's kind of like 3 a.m. for me here. Some of the stuff to be done. I'm just waiting for the Twitter poll to be done. I'm kind of like, please like seal this off and then go and carry on with my work. What do you guys think about this new thing? About anyone here has got any ideas, opinion about the royalty thing? Because there's a lot of founders that posting about that there's new regulation coming up that this can potentially harm a lot of projects. So much of speculation going on, but my speculation is that like royalties could be an issue, right? That the projects with royalties could be facing some kind of issue, and that could be why D got. So it's probably for projects based in the US. No clue, but there's been a lot of tweets going on about I'll just show, for example, right? If anyone's got any kind of theory or something behind it, this is like our PS game theory. Let's start our own. This one,
Yeah,
let me show the tweet.
Surely we can get some quote unquote game theory going.
All right, let's do. It's a pretty this thing. Like some of them worked out. Like what subscription was a CCO, right? As holders of any NFTs, what do you think makes sense as to be coming up in a subscription model? Like anybody can come on stage, just talk about it, because I'm pretty confident a lot of projects are going to move towards subscription model. NFTs are just going to be like an access even for that subscription at a discounted pricing or something. But what's your opinion on something like that? Would you guys just dump those NFTs, or would you be like, depends on what's the pricing, or what are the other factors that you would consider? RNA is kind of like put this up, so I'm just kind of like putting this question out to people here. If anyone wants to like come up on the stage and give their
can you
view.
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I think what Starbucks are doing with Polygon is like the best example of how you can like use like a token gateway to like discounted thing. So I don't know if you have read the entire thing, but I've briefly read it. Like how they're gonna do it is that it's gonna work like a reward system where technically you holding the NFT doesn't like give you a free coffee or like free burger or something like that. It gives you like a discount, and it like kind of like builds up your credit. So then like the next time you go in, like I'm not sure how the technicalities work behind it because I haven't read thoroughly, but like it works as like a ticketing subscription system where like it discounts your order and it discounts your food after like particular amounts of usage. Like that's the way that they're trying to approach it. But like that's how I see NFTs being used for particular like things. Obviously for like music and like how the music industry is coming into NFTs as well. I think it sort of like works differently that way. But I think like mainstream, so like goods and products, I think like that's how it would work. Like I think Polygon and Starbucks have like structured out really well for like anyone that hasn't looked into that yet.
I think that makes sense, but I'm talking about projects that are in existence. Like, okay, this is what happened if people do not know in Kosher's community. I think he kind of made this point that he kind of made this point that he was turning this into a subscription model, and there was a massive amount of like FUD going on, because they like this thing, right? So as in like he was like, how what do I what's the next step forward? In the sense like whether like the funds are being used up, whatever it could be for bots or collab managers or payments for the team or whatever. See, like there's obviously this one side whether the team how much were they getting paid and all those things. I don't know many projects disclose their salaries, right? Whether the team salaries or something, whether it's being disclosed or not, right? But the thing is like let's say it was disclosed and let's say it was a reasonable amount and still they collected less and it's burnt out. The question here is what would be like we saw a lot of projects like fail that way, like without funds in their vault, and they're kind of like done after like 6 months or 1 year or whatever, and they're shutting down. There's two options. If they like the community and if community likes or believes in the team, that the team can continue without dropping more collections as a subscription model, or they kind of be like, you guys take up the project and I can't do anything, like I'm going to quit, which is happening a lot as well. So what's the I'm talking about like as a project that you
wait, do you mean like the NFT itself turns into a subscription?
Yes, like that's what
so me as a holder for like whatever NFT I hold, I would have to pay a subscription to like hold that NFT.
Let's say like $10 or $20 a month as a subscription to just get all the benefits of whatever. Like I'm not gonna go into what's the benefits and stuff are, but the question is you're holding NFT. The NFT can be activated, or like the Starbucks model. Like you hold the NFT just to get access into that ecosystem or whatever, but you gotta pay like a monthly subscription or something, just to kind of like take care of the basic costs. Because there's
that would like it would be like hugely dependent on like sort of like how Tit and I are, like how like what's it called again, how strong the community is itself, or like what the value what the value proposition is that project is offering. I mean, like if you go to like a project like actually I don't want to use the project's name at the moment, but if you just go to like any random project and like no, I don't want to use any names, but if you just go to any project and you be like, oh, we're gonna start charging you like 10 USD a month to hold your to get access into our ecosystem, even though you hold your NFT. Like a lot of people are gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, I just bought the NFT for like $2,000. Now why am I gonna pay an extra $10 a month to hold that NFT per se?
Yeah. So I feel what's gonna happen if there's gonna be a project that's coming up. And if there's exactly, that's a good point there, Cypher. Like if it's a product that can be immediately used, right? If a new bot that's coming up, you're paying for NFT nerds, for instance, right? And if say your project is not developing its own tool or something, but if they're like, I'm going to buy out NFT nerds, which is going to cost us $300,000, we are happy to spend the $300,000 from our vault, buy this NFT nerds. Gojira holders, for the first 3 months or 6 months, you guys just pay $10 or $20 to use it at a very discounted price compared to the public. And once we recover the minimum $300,000 after 6 months or something, then we move back to a free use case for Gen 2. But because we recovered our $300,000, and now it can be generating us income as well from public. Think of this model for once, right? Where you can add up, you're basically giving, but this has to be an immediate access, like what Cypher Wolf made. Like, if you can give an immediate access, because what is happening is a lot of them are happy to go out for a separate product out of the ecosystem to go and pay a monthly subscription. It's only for those who use it, right? Like, let's keep it that way as well. Like, for example, some of you might be paying for this mint bots, or some of you might be paying for maybe the analysis tools, or some of you might be paying for whatever it may be, like like an alpha letter or newsletter or a subscription group or something like that. But like if there's going to be a product, but if the same product is going to come from your project, it's kind of like it's flooded, because they, as holders, you expect the things for free. But the question is, I'm putting out $300,000. I'm burning my funds, I'm bringing this, and I'm putting up another $200,000, bidding another product, and my funds are burnt in the vault. I brought this service in. For whatever reason, I'm saying for whatever reason, that product is not becomes irrelevant in 3 months. I'm not making any money out of it for the community. Right? We don't know whether a product that's relevant now would be relevant 3 months or 6 months later, right? So it's basically my point of view or my idea, what I was thinking for projects. What's going to happen is that when there's going to be a subscription model, it'll start dumping the flow, right? It'll reach a point of balance, like for example, Gen 2, for instance, or again, I don't want to take another project as example, but say tomorrow we are like all Gen 2's got to pay $10 a month to just. It's not just as NFT, you got to pay at least $10 a month when you want to come and use any of the service. And once you pay for it, you'll have 30 days access from that point. What's going to happen is probably 50% of them might dump, 50% might not. Don't know. I'm just putting up a number. And then what's going to happen is the floor is going to tank. It will reach a point of say 0.1 or 0.2 ETH flow. Then at that point, people will see value because they'll see like, 0.2 ETH and $10 a month makes sense. And then the community is pretty much like will get rebuilt, which kind of can destroy the project, or it can it's going to bring up a new thing. So for someone who's in a position like say Kosher, with this subscription thing that he made an announcement, I feel that's what's going to happen because he's kind of like he doesn't have an option at this stage. So it's a very sad thing, and also that little bit of that risky part when it comes to any NFT investments is this financial health of the vault is very important. If you have to kind of keep track of what's happening, kind of like at least whether the team's got 500,000 or 300,000 or 1 million or whatever, the financial health is very important, and how much the team is getting paid should be, in my opinion, known to kind of see whether it makes sense. Because absolutely, yes, for me it makes no sense for a project founder to take like $300,000 a year at this stage. But we don't know. Can anybody come out and say how many projects that where what the founders are getting paid? So when the financial health gets fucked up, so you can go back again to blame that it was financially mismanaged, like the tools by what is this sniper tool guys or whatever Alpha Shark or whatever I'm saying, right? For example, can blame, but then what's going to happen? You're like, hey, sorry guys, I can't do anything, that we might have to just shut down at this point. So that could be a good solution, like anybody else. It's gotten.
But Shan, do you think every project should be transparent with their finances in the space? Because majority of the projects in this space aren't even transparent.
That's a really good question.
Yes, they all should be transparent, in my opinion. And also, the subscription-based idea is gonna kill the space, because the idea is that NFT gives you feel like you have some sort of ownership in it, even though you don't. It gives you that sense of it. If I have to pay a subscription, it feels generic to me. It doesn't feel like I'm really part of it anymore.
I have a theory that we're gonna move to either POAPs or SPTs completely.
I feel as well, because the point is you make money as a team 3 years down the line only if there's enough royalties that's going on, which is like Ponzi to me, right? I don't know how many of you agree with it, but royalties are like Ponzi in terms where one person sells to another person and keeps going on. And in this market, there's probably 5 projects that's making money from royalties, which is like Bored Apes, Doodles, Artifact, Moonbirds, Azuki. Right? But the question is, most of the projects, the NFTs concept was sold that every transaction or every time something happens, you get 5% or 10% of the sales. That's going to be running your project. A project like Gojira, for example, where people don't want to undercut, for instance, right? Very rare. I'm not saying that we're not like super diamond community, but we're pretty decent compared to a lot of projects, right? So when that happens, people are not just dumping, or even if they dump, it doesn't mean that there's necessarily demand out there. A project like ours, we have been working on things like Launchpad and consultancy, which is not a very common thing to be for a project in the top 30 or top 50 to even do. It's bringing us some income, which is kind of like definitely keeping us afloat. But my question here is, I said, how many projects are transparent about their funds? How many projects that have thought about other revenue streams and have proven that they're bringing in other income? If they do not declare their salary or their payment, are you still comfortable holding a project like that? These are the kind of like three questions that I'm putting up.
I mean, the whole space works off of Ponzi-nomics right now in reality. The only way to make money in NFTs is for you to sell an NFT to somebody else for more. So there's not many projects that are actually bringing you any sort of revenue without selling the NFT.
What do you think about something like VFriends, where VFriends is a subscription model? In the sense, it's a 3-year model, not a monthly subscription. The NFTs pretty much kind of lose their current utility, and there's access to VCon after 3 years, and it's going to be a different model after the first 3 years. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. And they have a 6 ETH flow.
But VCon, but like the thing with VCon is that like Gary V is attached to VCon. So even if like the VCon subscription per year is like, $500, $600, like people are willing to pay $500 just so they can, attend VCon and see Gary V and do all that stuff. So I think like the value proposition in that sense is at like an all-time high for VCon. But like for any other project, like, it would have to sort of like match that caliber. To like be in a position to sort of like ask for per month or per year or whatever it is.
It is still a Ponzi scheme, abs.
Still a Ponzi opinion, but why would the value of the NFT rise? Like, let's say he's going to give access to let's say he gives access to VCon forever. Why would the value of the NFT keep going up? That's my question. Like, it's not an equity in a brand. It's not like the toys, if they sell, you get like income distributed because the toys are selling. You're getting access to VCon, and let's say when the VCon is going to be like forever, why would it push for the floor to be 100 ETH, for instance, except for the luxury feel or whatever, like what Bored Apes have at this stage to an extent? I mean, like, there's quite few questions in the sense, like, how would you push the floor of NFT in a natural way where there's more and more potential for it to go without equity being involved, is my question. Like, without equity being involved. Or equity, or by equity I mean the ownership in the business or the money that they're making, or at least like equity or some kind of like a profit sharing method being involved. And if you involve profit sharing, NFTs become security and it goes back to Web 2, and there's all this whole lot of drama.
Yeah, but then I think we have had this discussion like many times, like on Twitter as well. Like, do we really think that we were going to achieve like 100% decentralized system? Like, we're not.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking.
You want to go back over this, abs? Like,
well, we're definitely not. We're definitely not going to reach 100% decentralized system.
Okay, so then why don't you go work for Facebook then, Slot?
No, okay. Tell me how you're going to reach a 100% decentralized system when a security comes into play. Like, are you willing to like list gaming, for example? Right?
Hold on, I'm not going to reach it if I have your kind of mindset.
No, but like, okay, let's just think about it theoretically, right? Let's just think about it in theory, right? Let's just take gaming, for example, right? You make your account, right? You don't want to give up your data. You don't want to give it, and then the next day, all your assets get wiped, and the company takes no ownership, the brand takes no ownership over it. Now, who are you gonna like go to?
That can still be de-identified, though.
My point is full decentralization means no mass adoption. My mom is not gonna go and comfortably put $1 million in a fucking MetaMask wallet, because if tomorrow something happens, she can't contact someone. I forgot my password.
Code is too easy to screw up. So I mean, no big companies coming in when the simplest miserror in a code can cost you millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, you are right.
Exactly.
So exactly by the way, guys, we won the poll. Like,
won, baby! Yay!
Oh man,
Let's fucking go.
Good job, botting guys. Good job.
The last 2 weeks have been crazy, man. Like, in the sense, like, fucking Olympics, and then like Olympics, we got 100 free mints. And let's just think about it, right? Like, Kyong's mint were sold at 5 ETH, and Yoga Pets is hyped as fuck, and DJ is sold at like 3.6. And I think it's gonna do pretty well. I'm hoping, at least for the sake of our community, thanks to our Olympics, like the team. So 100 free mints is not a joke. So it's gonna come to the Jira market, the exchange, the new exchange. For you guys to kind of like participate in raffles and stuff. probably even like we might even put like 1 ETH raffle. So if you just want to put in like not 1 ETH, fuck, one Jira raffles kind of thing. So you guys can participate. Everyone can jump in. So, anyways, the point coming back to this, for me, mass adoption, if it's fully decentralized, mass adoption is not going to be coming up. If it is going to be, let's say, a hybrid model, I was advocate for a full like 100% decentralized thing, but you got to have a little bit of control just for these noobs and this people who have got no experience in tech and stuff. Like I asked this question: can you convince your parents to open up a MetaMask and invest in NFTs or crypto? If you can do that, we have achieved a thing. But till this date, my mom thinks I'm doing some kind of a scammy stuff. She doesn't believe. It makes no sense, and I kind of gave up. Right, I'm not able to kind of like give a reasoning or make them understand why fucking ape or a Godzilla is like worth this much. Right, it's not easy to kind of. She's like, do I get like 10% per annum? I'm like, nope. So she's like, why would I invest here? And I'm like, what do I say? I'm like, she's like, I put in stocks or I put in like my fucking fixed deposits or bonds. I get like a guaranteed 6-7%. And anytime you tell them that there's a potential for a 10x or a 20x, and them being traditional investors, they're like, 10x to 20x means it's high risky stuff, and I don't want to participate in a super high risky, thing. I honestly tried, convincing, making them understand, and I gave up. Right, and the day we are able to simplify this to our family, and I tell them about decentralization and about government, how they have their data and all those things, they're like, I don't care. Like, I've lived 65 years of my fucking life without any issues from the government or any this thing or issues from the bank. Why would I suddenly start worrying about all these kind of my data being stolen and stuff? I'm like, okay, I gave up. So so it's an interesting conversation.
I think it'll become more prevalent when these Gen Z become.
You become a granddad postie, and we are like transferring amongst each other in crypto, using MetaMask, and your grandkids, kind of born with NFTs. That's the time there could be mass adoption. That's basically wiping out the current, 60 to 90-year-olds, and we become the 60-year-olds from this point. Posty, did you try convincing your parents to open up a MetaMask?
I haven't actually tried to get them to open MetaMask. They like, what do you call it? They don't care that I do it, as long as like, what do you call it? I'm not wasting or burning money away. So
That's the thing, but my parents don't stop me. They just don't understand. So they're like,
look, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna show them Punk 6529's course, because I reckon that will make sense to a degree. At least the first lesson. And I can watch it with them and explain it. I think that. Yeah.
Sorry, so I didn't want to cut you off, Percy. I thought you might have finished. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
But,
he didn't
from
see
what
it, man.
Sorry?
I thought Rinsler is back. Thought you left.
Look, I have there's this thing that happens called Carnage in a project called Moon Summer, and it happens once a week, and it's just been delayed, and so yeah, I just need to go and do that. And it's like, we've got like this Minecraft server where NFTs get bridged, and it's like a play to craft, that we go in, we mine resources there, and you can craft stuff, or like, say like you mine gold, and then you can export the gold, and you can even sell it on a DEX. It's
Are you still doing that, Rinsler?
Bro, you have no idea how crazy that project is. Like,
okay, so
sorry,
I need to get in.
I don't want to come to this. Sorry, I don't want to come to the stage and shill another project at all. But
And that's fine. You let it. I mean, we are, bro, Rinsler. I think you're new here because we do not stop anybody from talking about other projects. Like, if it's a good one, I myself would go and invest. So, I mean, it's okay for you to tell about the project. Like, what's the project?
yeah, maybe Sean, maybe man, you got to play with me, dude. Like, Moon Summer, it's pretty pretty insane. I've only got 7 minutes before it, so I won't really get too much into it. I'll get back to the important bit where we're speaking about people adopting crypto. I've worked in sales for the past sort of 4 years, and what I've learned is people don't take action unless there's pain. So how do we we cannot convince people who are 60 years old that there's pain if they're like not getting involved in crypto, right? Like, because they're like, fuck it, like, why do I need to change? And so if there's no pain, there's no change. So that's one big thing. Like, even with my parents, it's like I was telling them to buy Bitcoin when there was a bull run at like 18K, but like obviously then it's not going to take me seriously. Like, there's no pain. The pain's not great enough for them to take action, right? So yeah, just wanted to say that.
So which is very valid, but let's also agree that people like say, like Mr. Wonderful, right? Like Kevin O'Leary and people like that. They have the money, right? Like Musk coming in and buying Bitcoin is more like a show, and he was like a bored motherfucker, just came in and like kind of like he wanted to bring some clout and all those things. It happened, right? Like for him, it's money is like a fun thing and all. But the question is, how many middle-aged or like old people like him are like coming in and throwing in like or ready to throw in like hundreds of thousands of dollars? Because I know for sure my parents have more money than me, for instance. That means I couldn't like get them in. I'm not just using one sample size here. So the point what I'm trying to make is like it has to be a little bit of like a hybrid decentralized model, to just prevent drugs, to prevent few things till the space kind of like becomes stable. It makes like, imagine if every project was not doxed and they're just running it. Anytime they feel like, I wake up and I'm like, I'm so bored. Okay, fuck it. I'm going to close this project. I'm going to take the money. Which when you think about it, this 9 out of 10 projects have the chance to do right away.
Most of them are doing it. I mean, there's so many projects that are just walking the eat. You know what I mean? That are just doing that.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
So it happens all the time, and I think that also with adoption, it's like it will be true adoption, sort of when people don't realize that they're using crypto and Web3. Like that's when we sort of like, I feel like that's the sort of state when we reach adoption. Yeah, cool.
Yep. So yeah, I think my basic point was this. That's it. Like we have to have a little bit of, let's say like a hybrid model, like and slowly move towards when we become the let's say the 40s and 50s, right? What, I'm 25, maybe like 15 years from now or 20 years from now, like when we become in this age group of like, let's say our family members or something, the next generation is going to be the ones that's going to be born with this kind of technology kind of thing, right? Because internet was an alien term for people when it first came out. So anyways, let's see. I mean, it's no one knows. It's just like everything is a speculation. But yeah, my point is that we we pretty much have like quite a long way to go and achieve like 100% decentralization. Right, guys. Thanks for this, and I think it was a pretty long this thing. True adoption will come through gaming, yes, and gaming takes a while to develop, and we need a game like Fortnite to kind of like in this thing. Yesterday was an amazing point. I don't know where we had this discussion. Why the heck could Fortnite change their model and move to Web3 NFTs when the current model is already making them money? I don't know where this discussion was going on.
Exactly. That's well said, Sean.
I've said that multiple times. Like, why would a business change their model when they're already making millions?
People are like, imagine Fortnite coming to Web3 as NFTs. They're like, they won't come, man. They don't want to. That's an opportunity risk for them. Get into Web3, something bad happens, their business model is fucked, and they're out, right?
Fortnite would have like for Fortnite as like a game would have never, like, people talk about like how we should build like games like Fortnite where we can use like skins and such. Like Fortnite as a game would have not succeeded if it was in Web3 initially built, because like they would have just not been able to reach the audience that they reached in Web2. Like you can't reach a 10-year-old that plays Fortnite and like a 12-year-old that plays Fortnite on Web3. You just can't, and it's not cross-platform as well. at the same time, which a lot of NFT games can't be built on a cross-platform because PS4, Xbox, and stuff, they have regulations implementing tokenomics and crypto and etc. etc. So like that whole point about like building games that are like successful in Web 2 on Web 3 just doesn't work. Like you need to like be able to like innovate in a sense that Web 3 should have its like own niche of gaming.
Exactly. I personally don't think like it's all
coming from
you know,
coming from the gaming sphere and working in gaming, I don't necessarily agree. Because the ownership of the assets is the biggest issue for people right
Agreed.
now. Like, why do I pay $12,000 for a Dragon Lore in Counter Strike, and then it's actually I don't really own it.
it's already happening. So my point is,
doing
you
it,
asked
yeah.
me why-
No, but that's
you're
what I'm saying is
asking
like
why you
that's what the desirable angle of it is, that when you have the metaverse play coming as well, and you get an interoperable standard on these assets, that means that I can move it in a whole universe of different type of games, and it's still worth what it's worth. Yeah.
Do you agree that it's hard to make people move or change from their existing routine? Like to make somebody like, move from Xbox to PS5, for example, right? If mass adoption is going to take time, for
No,
Fortnite,
not really. Like if a title
like
that I really want enough, I'll go and buy an Xbox just to play it.
that's you because
If,
you are fucking determined. I'm always an Xbox fan, so I'll never can play PS5. I'm like, fuck off. Like, I'm not going to touch a PS
No, but
controller.
you're not a true gamer then.
It doesn't matter.
What the
It's not that, like,
I used to-
dude,
what?
true gamers don't consider console as fucking games. At least some
Yeah,
of them.
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No.
That is not true. Like I have friends that play professional League of Legends,
No,
for
I'm
example,
saying
but then when they want to
it's-
chill, they play Monster World just on Xbox or whatever.
That's a
like,
chill, so
basically.
it's not a gaming thing. It's like fucking like it's like eating a main dish with the PC and then eating a side dish with fucking like
Yeah,
PS5.
it's kind of true.
Yeah.
So no, the point is like if Fortnite is going to have a solid competitor that builds from scratch, that maybe Yuga or I don't know if Yuga or some other projects that's going to come up, and if they threaten them to an extent where they're going to suck out their, let's say, the user base, probably that's when Fortnite can also have this extra option where they don't change their existing model to keep their customer base, but then develop an extra mod or something that those who are interested can like play that version. Maybe, like, I don't know, it's all speculation here.
Yeah. Well, also they went and did a $30 million raise with a metaverse scaling company. So.
Oh, was it for the Fortnite's creators?
Yeah,
Was
Epic.
it
Yeah.
Epic Games? Oh yeah, I did see that. Was it which one was it that they were like they're never gonna get into metaverse or something? Some games, it was Riot Games or somebody, they were like they're never gonna get into like metaverse or something.
Minecraft.
Well, several have had that stance. Minecraft, yeah, they shut it all
Yeah,
down.
they shut everybody down.
The big
And you have
shutdown.
Steam as well. Steam said that they banned all games.
Yeah, right, got it.
But then again, what Steam is probably doing is that they just want to understand how it all works, and then they're gonna apply it themselves.
Exactly.
I'll just tag
And that's
Shoreline
the
here.
same Minecraft said too. Like they said they'll revisit it in the future, but at this time they're not supporting it.
Yeah,
which was a massive blow to NFT worlds, and all the people are putting hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions into builds. That's crazy.
But I'm sorry, if you didn't expect that to happen from a massive corporation, then you're an idiot. Like, if you didn't see that, then you're blind. Like,
No, not really, because their modding community is so heavily in use, right? I think that's why
True.
people thought it was gonna be an okay thing, because they basically open sourced the whole game and just say you can do whatever you want with it.
Fair
But
point.
then they probably saw the money coming in and went,
Yes, exactly.
That's the only time the big brands I think will really be changing what their model is, when they're forced to, when they start losing revenue to projects that are succeeding in that aspect.
Or even projects that are utilizing their tech in a better way than they're doing, which was Minecraft basically. Because I think they got more adoption, to be honest, of people who were actually interested in crypto, having to buy or whatever starter packs, whatever you need, right? So I think they got more adoption, but they saw the revenue stream and went like, "What, we can do this." So I wouldn't be shocked if we saw NFT worlds just come out under the same product under the umbrella of Mojang.
Yeah, agreed. I reckon they could definitely pull out a few other games, but I think Valve especially has they're in a very good position to do something, especially the fact of what they're also doing with VR as well as handheld technology. Um, like they had the Steam Deck, was it last year? And then I think what was it? 4 years ago was Steam Index. Um, like they've got both of these, which then potentially will be somehow both technologies used in the future together.
Yeah,
Which yeah,
me and Jericho, I think, talked about this in one of his AMAs, and my opinion is the Web3 gaming platforms shouldn't be gearing towards like the Web2 environment because those gaming communities push against Web3. They should be looking at the VR experiences where you're building a new client base, a new user base. It would be easier to break into that way, and that's where VR is, I think, going to be a big whatever in the Web3.
Potentially, but it also you just need the right profile. Because if a profile goes and gets behind a gaming platform that basically says to you that, hey, we also got FPS games and the compatibility and the same stuff that you got in Counter Strike. Like I see, this is a hard sell, of course, but if you got the right personalities behind it and say, you know how skin trading is $1 billion industry right now, but you actually don't truly own your assets. Like, what if you actually owned your assets? That's
so funny you bring
that's a
this up.
fundable thing.
What if we did this on Valorant, right? What if we instead Valorant skins aren't tradable at the moment? What if we put them on chain, and then right we use this as a what would you call it? A marketing tactic in a sense, because it will eventually get DMCA'd by Riot, which then means we pull out our real reasoning or where we actually go with it, which is a actual what do you call it, FPS shooter. And then you pull out the actual skins, and then you come out potentially with some version of CS, but with my thought would be you go down the route of implementing some kind of parkour, or not parkour, but more fluid movement mechanics similar to Apex or Titanfall. But yeah, that's just one potential thing that could be.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if one of these guys just adopted it to get ahead of the curve. The ones who don't already have it, because it's such a huge step in the right direction for that space, regardless. So wouldn't be shocked if you just saw news coming out that would be rolled out as a beta, a marketplace on chain where you can trade skins within one of these games.
Guys, by the way, there's going to be an interesting match coming up. It's going to be Tata versus Abs. So Rainby, thanks for attending, man. Have a good night. It's going to be Tata versus Abs wager match. 1 Gen 2 at stake. They're going to do FIFA. Right now, Abs.
How many Gen 2s do you have, Abs?
Abs, you're
Bro,
too
it's like
confident.
fucking 3:30 here, bro. It's like
Yeah,
3:30 in the morning.
I'll play for you. I'll play for you, Abs.
Bro, this guy's also up for it. Black Bull also is like, I'll FIFA anyone for money. Every motherfucker is so confident. Let's stream it. Let's do it. Who's up against whom?
Is Black Bull in it?
Yeah, Black Bull is. Come on, Tara, don't be a pussy now. Come on, you started this. No, just
this is
show
too
people.
good.
Which division are you, Abs?
Sorry?
Division 7?
Yeah, what?
In which division are you?
At least on FIFA 23.
Which division are you in FIFA 23?
Bro, I'm literally only got up to like Division 8, bro. I've just started playing the game.
Okay, and then we're on the same
The game
level.
came out like I think a week ago.
Okay. An Ultimate Team, right?
Nah, I don't. Divisions, like normal divisions.
Oh, so kickoff, like with original teams.
Yeah, with the original teams.
Ah man, I want to play with pay to win.
Bro, there's no way I'm playing. There's no way I'm wagering a Gen 2 vault. Fucking Dana robbery.
All right, guys, catch you then. I've got some work to do.
All right, see you,
Night
Sean.
Later,
All right,
Sean.
Bye.
Like,
See ya.
Laters.